Sweet. So, you guys are currently traveling down Route 108 to Campsville, which is a direct road leading from like Brownstown, Central Illinois area up to Campsville. It's mostly like a country road, so it's like one of those that's like strictly speaking like 55 miles per hour, but like you could probably go 80 and no one would care, right? Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it is a 2 hour drive. It's a long haul. We won't spend real time doing it, but let's check in with people in their vehicles, and let's start off driving behind Jeff's van. Let's check in with Jason and Wyatt in Jason's truck.
Killer. All right. So, let's see. I wanted to have a little chat with Jason.
Let's do it.
Um, so, how you been?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
I read some stuff about some weirdness up north. Have you heard much? There's been
At Campsville? Or
just kind of all around, you know?
I haven't heard anything weird. The only thing I saw was, like, he actually starts rustling around behind him, in the, um, kind of the behind the bench seat, trying to reach the paper that he dropped earlier, um, where he has all his notes. Um,
Yeah, as you reach you, that brr, brr of a truck like passing you.
I'll reach back and kind of help him grab it.
their
And
hand.
I'll kind of have a gander
Um,
at the
yeah.
article.
Yes, there's an article. It's the front page of this daily, but also there's some notes on it, basically describing that.
Mm-hmm.
There's the article that's Calvin Carlson. He's 14, missing person. Went asleep Tuesday. Was found missing Wednesday morning. His bed was made, but he had been complaining about feeling watched the previous day, and that he is the fourth missing person. And then there's some rough, just kind of like pencil notes next to it in Jason's handwriting that say the fourth question mark, and then describes a kid named Howie who was 8 years old, a boy named Ashton Hubbard who was 13 reported missing by his parents, and then a guy named Elmer Dean who was 32, who was a self-professed hacker.
Oh, okay. Do any of those names sound familiar to me?
Not off the top of your head. It's something like if you reached out to your crew, maybe they, especially like because you have a hacker on your crew, right?
Yeah, we'd have to stop at a payphone somewhere.
Yeah.
There are no cell phones. At
Yep,
this point in time,
1993.
yeah, 93. Yeah.
Well, we didn't take Wyatt's car, so we don't have a car phone.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, technically it's his mother's car, so.
Right.
All right. I wonder if this is related to what I was seeing. And so I kind of relayed to him sort of what I'd seen in the kind of the local paranormal papers. One of the rumors I had seen was that were a series of paranormal occurrences throughout the state, as even some supposedly leaking out of the state into neighboring areas like Missouri, Indiana, and Kentucky. Does this seem like this sort of stuff is related to what I was seeing in those other papers?
How about at this juncture, for that question, you roll me and investigate a mystery, and
do
that
that.
if you succeed, that'll allow you to ask me some pointed questions.
That sounds good to me. Flexible alternative. All right, I'll just use the regular investigate a mystery. How's that?
Sounds good.
So here we go, and obviously we're just using sharp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, nope, no luck. But I get an experience point.
Yeah. So with that 6, it's hard to say. I think with your experience, Wyatt, like you could probably draw the conclusion that it's probably a big coincidence if these two things weren't. Like, I think
Mhm.
you're preternaturally disposed with what you've seen, right? To be like, if people are going missing, it probably has something to do with the supernatural.
I just don't find a
But that
direct
being,
connection. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
and all that being said, there is something in the back of your head that like there are things in this world that aren't super, like there are monsters in this world that aren't supernatural, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something could be preying on people, um, that's mundane, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So all right. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, I don't know if I like. Oh, and Jason will just answer the question that if it was asked out loud. I'm like, I don't know if it's related, but I mean, it's definitely seems weird, and it might be something we have to handle or deal with. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the we never really quite get a vacation, do we? Um.
Things have been pretty quiet lately.
Let's hope they stay that way. But with what we're seeing here, we may be heading right into something.
Yeah, definitely.
If we stop somewhere, I can make a call to someone I know who might be able to do some investigation for us. But that's a big if. So
I
But
mean,
that is a great spot to transfer over to Jeff and his group and his van.
perfect. Sounds good
Um,
to
All
me.
right.
on that note, so yeah, Jeff, you are driving down the country roads of Route 108, making good time. You guys have been driving for a while when these conversations have happened.
Okay.
But yeah, so David is in the back with Holly. You're sitting up front with Hannah. Um, and I think as you're driving, it's been a while. There's been some mild chit chat, but Hannah will kind of make mention to you, like, "Hey, once we kind of get settled, I think we should all kind of have a talk. Jason may have found something this morning. Maybe
Oh,
it's nothing, but maybe it's something to look into when we're there."
something about what?
Hmm, apparently, I only got a headline in a paper, but someone was reported missing in Campsville. Like, again, maybe it's nothing, but like maybe it is something, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. This is club related, right?
Well, maybe. I don't know, but I think it's probably best we prepare for it to be, just in case. Worst case scenario, we go to the police, right? But like
Right. Eh, those useless bastards.
language.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So, what do you think about Holly and
Yeah, she stuck with you, like, don't
Claire in the way?
you're
No, no. Okay, so just what I'm trying to get at is here. The van is loud with the music playing.
yeah.
And you probably can't hear from one row in the van to the next. Like,
Yeah, these are definitely like screamed whispers that we've been talking to.
yeah. Like, so if you, unless you can like read lips, you probably can't hear us, and we
Mhm.
probably can't hear you very well unless you're like yell at the top of your lungs at us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and so just like, oh, what do you think of Holly? Yeah, like David back there, that guy like definitely needs to could use a
Definitely needs to what, Jeff?
and, like he's like trying to look for the right polite way of saying get laid, but without saying that out loud. Needs to definitely have a. It would be nice if he had a a special lady friend. Like,
Yeah, Hannah looks at you silently judging you. Like boring, judgmental eyes into the back of your skull.
not me though, not me though. Like, ever since Chile, I realized like, relationships are for losers or whatever. Like, us men, we just can't be tied down to anyone, and we gotta like be free to just whatever, like just roam the earth. You know what I mean?
No, but sure, Jeff. You
Because
li- live it to the fullest, I guess. And she kind of looks back
yeah,
in the
uh,
rearview mirror to David and Holly. Um, but yeah, she will express. She's like, I think Holly's really nice, and she seems like a very special girl, and I don't know what David's looking for, if he's interested, but I think Holly has caught herself some feelings, and I think David could do a lot worse than someone like her, and it would probably get him into church if they started dating. And with that, David, you're sitting next to Holly, who's, I think, you've been driving, like, let's say, like, maybe an hour 20 at this point or thereabouts, and like the whole time hasn't really been talking to you. Has been sitting there, like, shoulders uh slouched, like hands in her lap, hands clasped together, just kind of looking straight forward, blushing a bit. Not that you notice any of that.
So how do you know Hannah?
Oh, we met at church. My parents and I go to First Presbyterian as well, and I saw a girl my own age and said hi, and she seemed really nice. And like Hannah's, I mean, I don't know if you know it. She seems like she's been your friend for a while, but she's fairly outgoing. Uh, seems to really like have taken me under her wing, which will be great because I was really nervous about making friends when I start school, being the new girl in my junior year. It was a nightmare. Oh my god, I'm rambling. I'm so sorry.
Hannah's always been kind of like my big sister. I've known her for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's totally cool. It's great to hear you guys have that type of relationship, like a brother sister relationship.
Are you looking forward to school in the fall?
Yeah, yeah. Just a few more weeks now. We next weekend we'll go in to register and stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited. I enjoy school. Do you like school?
Yeah, I enjoy it enough. I try to do well, but yeah, sometimes, yeah. And we have this after school club that we do, and it's cool. But yeah, I try and do well in school.
Oh, cool. She's kind of like mimicking your like behavior. Like, cool, cool. Yeah. Um, great. So, Jeff, up in the front seat. You've been driving, as I said, for a while now. Um, and like your van like the back of your hand. Like this thing is your war horse. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And you start feeling like it's driving a little bit sluggish. Like your baby's trying to tell you something, and you kind of flick your finger on the dash a little bit, and the arrow on the fuel indicator that was showing you had plenty of gas when you tap on the dash just immediately falls down to empty.
Oh no! Wait, I tap on it again. Come on,
Yeah,
come back up, come on.
It just stays there, and your car starts to kind of sputter a little bit. Go ahead, do a sharp roll for me, Jeff.
Come on, machine spirit.
Sure. Or let's call this specifically an act under pressure, in case you have special bonuses to that.
Let's see here. Let me do the roll. Under pressure. I don't think I have anything.
Just gotta call the machine spirit here.
Yeah, just a sec. Hang on. Let me act under pressure. No, this is not escape. This is not fighting. Unless I'm charging into immediate danger.
You know what? I'll give it to you.
Oh, okay. Well then, I can do a I can do this move. What could go wrong? I can take a +2 forward to act under pressure roll.
Awesome. So do that act under pressure with the +2 forward, and I will tell you what could go wrong as a result. Excellent. So yeah, it seems like, there's a lot that's busted in this van, but it's your baby, it's your warhorse. You will ride it until it falls apart and it will physically not drive anymore. So
Yeah.
it seems like, yeah, you've been running on empty for a little bit, and you're going to need to fill up on gas, which is fortuitous since it seems like Wyatt might need to use a payphone as well. Luckily, with that 10 act under pressure, you do see You're about 10 miles outside of Campsville at this point, and you see at the next exit there is a sign, a highway sign that says the gas station is available. It's
Sweet.
a station called Harrison's Gas and Go.
Nice. So I'm gonna do a lot of coasting, like it's just like get us up to speed. Like okay, coast, just light taps on the gas, get us those 10 miles.
Oh yeah, no. So sorry, you are 10 miles outside of camp. So this is coming up relatively.
Okay.
Soon.
This is, okay. Then yeah.
Yeah.
Then I will. Then I'll definitely pull over to there.
Sounds great. Yeah. So Jason and Wyatt, you see Jeff start to drive a little differently, and he indicates that he's kind of taking the next exit. And you two see that there's a gas sign. You can kind of put two and two together.
Yeah, we go ahead and follow. I'll say, looks like Wyatt might be running out of gas here.
Not
Yeah,
Wyatt.
You're Wyatt. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, sounds great. So you guys head in or pull into Harrison's Gas and Go. What could go wrong? All right. So Harrison's Gas and Go is a rural, run-down 1960s era gas station off Route 108, about 10 miles outside Campsville, Illinois. The station consists of two pumps situated outside a decaying, aged, wood-slat storefront, a timber shed about the size of a small barn or two-car garage, and a prominent, self-standing bulletin board plastered with notices and advertisements. And you are just pulling up to the pumps.
All right.
Do I get a bad feeling?
If that horror music is any indication, this is yes.
Can I read
The
a bad
audience is at
situation?
the edge of their seats. Yeah, go roll it for me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Excellent. So you
Wow.
can ask me a couple questions.
Yeah. All right. Read a bad situation. Let me see here. Wait, where did that go? Hold on.
What's my
Okay.
best way in? What's my best way out? Are there
Yeah,
any dangers you noticed? What's the
Are there
biggest
any
threat?
dangers I haven't noticed?
Okay, so on a 10 plus, you get to ask me 3 questions, and you get a 1 hold.
Yep.
To anything going forward.
Okay, so I will ask you. First question I will ask is, are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
Yes, and I will tell you what that is at the end because it's a bit of a description.
Okay, and then the next I will say, what is the best way out?
Straightforward back onto the highway.
Okay, and then what is the best way to protect the victims?
Interesting. So I'm going to rule that victims, quote, will be the missing people that you don't know about just yet, right? Hannah kind of made mention that someone has gone missing. The best way to protect the victims. So Jeff, like, your mom loves crime dramas. You know this about her, right?
Right.
Like loves watching those shows, is like big on like
Jake and the
I'm not
Fat
sure if
Man?
it's out yet, but like Cops or like To Catch a Killer, if there was such a thing these days. And here's
Murder,
the
She
thing
Wrote.
about here's the thing about missing people, right? If you haven't found them within 48 hours, it's likely you'll only find a body, if anything.
Okay.
So this missing person was reported 2 days ago, or Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's possible
There's no one to
there might-
protect.
exactly, but
Okay.
Eliminating the threat that caused the person to go missing would prevent any further victims, right?
Makes sense. Okay.
And then yeah, so that first one, right? Are there dangers here I haven't noticed?
Yeah.
There is. So Jeff, and really all of you, notice that from out of that wooden shed, a man comes out. He's wiping his hands down with a soiled cloth that he throws to the ground as he approaches you. You kind of get the impression that, like, this is the type of gas station where, even though this isn't Oregon or anything, right? But like, he'd pump your gas for you. It's just that old style of a station. But he approaches you. He's tall, scrawny man with short, unkempt, wispy gray hair, a hardline face with the texture of aged leather, and the coarse stubble of a 5 o'clock shadow that's now probably a couple of days old. His teeth are yellow and nicotine stained, and he savors a wad of chewing tobacco that he keeps compacted against his lower left cheek. He wears filthy, oil-stained blue overalls opened at the chest to reveal an equally filthy white muscle tee beneath. There's a patch on his left breast that reads Joe Harrison. His hands are dirty, blistered, and in places still slick with motor oil. And as he approaches, I'm going to need everyone to roll plus sharp.
Remember, Cameron, you have a hold 1.
All right.
And you can use that here if you want. David, still think, wait, does this girl like me?
Yeah, is that why they wanted? Like, so now he realizes that part and doesn't notice this part.
Can I? So I get this. I get a danger sense from this guy about right now.
Yeah. You don't get this next bit, but you're
I
getting.
will, can I tell Hannah something's wrong with this guy and something's wrong here?
Oh yeah, Hannah will.
It's a big fat no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kind
of
So
outside
basically,
his,
no one in Jeff's car, just Jason and.
But
Yeah.
I am like, I read a bad situation. I'm like, something's wrong, and I'm worried something bad happened
So
here.
yeah, Jason actually kind of like not normally like super like on edge all the time, but I think maybe there's something. You kind of said like this music kind of is how you feel, right? So we're on edge coming in here. So maybe like a beast sense, like he actually reaches under his seat and pulls out like kind of puts the 357 Magnum that he's always had that he's never used in the game, kind of tucks it under his leg.
Yeah. Excellent. So Jason, Wyatt, are you guys? You haven't got out of the. I guess I should ask all of you. Have you gotten out of your vehicles at this point?
Yeah.
No, we have not.
Just pulled up, right? Like we kind of just pulled up, right?
Yeah. So I will if they pull up to, because there's 2 pumps, right?
Yep.
If they pull up to one pump, I'll pull up to the pump right behind them, and I will get out of my truck and kind of like, but keep the door between me and the guy.
Yeah. Okay. So Jason and Wyatt with those 9s, as Joe Harrison approaches, along with the description you just saw, you notice something else. He has caked blood underneath his fingernails.
I look down at I look over at Wyatt and look down at my gun.
I sort of give him a knowing nod, but like a small one, so it's kind of subtle. I'm just like,
I look back and I'm gonna raise my other hand, but I'm holding the gun down behind the door. So I'll raise my left hand up and say, "Howdy, friend."
Howdy. He spits tobacco at your feet. What you doing around these parts?
Just looking for some gas.
I guess I can do. He makes his way over to one of the pumps.
I just keep the truck between me and him so he can't see the gun.
Mm-hmm.
I keep it kind of behind me, but I'm definitely holding it.
So is he on the driver's side of the car, or is he on the passenger side of the truck?
He's walking towards the driver's side.
Driver's side.
I don't know where you can tell me where your gas.
It's going to be on the passenger side.
Okay.
Mine is
I-
actually on the driver's side.
Okay,
Well,
so
yours is
you
on the
guys
driver's
are
side,
on
but not-
opposite sides of the pump.
Yeah,
we're on
like
opposite sides.
Jason, yeah,
Yep.
and he's kind of walking around. So his intention now is to fill up your truck, and so that's going to put him in between the two vehicles, right?
Okay,
Right.
so I will all right, so Jason is sort of you're sort of out of the truck, and
Yep.
you've got the door open, and the door is between you and him, right?
Yep.
Okay. Has anyone gotten out of Jeff's car, or is Jeff and them still kind of chilling?
I've cracked my window down to just say, just trying to get some gas.
Gas I can do. Be with you momentarily. He's at the pump now.
So I actually look over. I say, "You got a bathroom?"
Yup. Through there. And he points into the decrepit storefront.
All right. So I'm gonna try to, like, how do I want to do this? I will like tuck the gun into my waistband, and kind of cover it with the tail of my shirt.
Mhm.
And then I will close my door, or I'm not actually gonna close it. I'm just gonna let it kind of swing almost closed, leave it kind of open, so I don't have to fumble with it later, and then head towards the bathroom. Is the bathroom towards where he came out of?
It is not. So the shed
Okay.
is kind of situated behind the storefront, and where he pointed to the bathroom was inside the store.
So I'm gonna do something dumb in which I am going to just take kind of a meandering route to see if I can't see in the shed, while I head vaguely towards where he said.
Cool. So that is definitely going to be an act under pressure.
All right. I'm into it.
Meanwhile, I've got in the back of my in the back of my jeans is my 9mm, where it's normally where he keeps it, and so he's just kind of sitting in the truck, but he's got his thumb kind of on top of the thing behind his back.
So you guys got out of the car. We didn't signal to each other or anything.
Nope.
Doesn't appear. So Jason, on the 13, here's how things go. So you are actually adepts at this kind of stealth maneuver. He's filling up what little gas you kind of need in your truck because you were actually fairly well prepared, and doesn't notice anything weird about you, but totally believes you're just it's been a long drive, you're stretching your legs on the way to the bathroom. You cross by the shed. You see the shed on the shed door, and this is just a wood. It looks like handmade. He probably built this, right? There's a giant padlock on the front door that's currently sitting opened. The door is closed, and you can't see in there, but you see his rag, and the rag looks like it's been kind of filthy with oil and stuff. It is also drenched in blood, you notice, at this juncture. And there's light coming from the slat in the building, there is a lantern or something in there. But because the door's closed, unfortunately, you can't see inside. But again, on that 13, he doesn't chalk anything weird about you heading that direction.
All right. I'm gonna go into the actual store itself to look for the quote unquote bathroom.
Yeah.
It is, as soon as I'm inside, if there's no one else there, I'm looking for a lighter and something flammable, because I'm gonna light this store on fire.
Okay.
Why?
Um,
What?
Cool. So
I'm gonna cause a
You-
distraction, basically.
okay. Yeah, so the inside of the store, you kind of get the impression, also serves as the attendant's office. It is dimly lit, dusty and cobweb covered. Most of the merchandise on the shelves, including rotting and molding food items, seem like they've been there since the station first opened. Yeah, you find a pack of lighters. Again, because everything's so old, it's gonna be a gamble how well they work, right? Like
Mhm.
the lighter fluid inside them might have gone bad or had been evaporated over time or things. And as far as flammable stuff, like you find some like dusty cobwebbed t-shirts that are like Illinois Americana touristy type stuff that like clearly no one's ever bought. They're all like 1960s, 1970s design. And like you find some beer and a couple. You don't find like liquor here really, but you do find like those fortified beverages,
Mhm.
as far as flammable stuff.
Uh, in the office like part, is there like a picture or anything on like a desk or anything?
Let's say,
Like,
yeah. What type of picture are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if there's a picture of like this place in its prime, or like the
Or who
person
worked here,
running it,
employee
or
of the
who
month.
worked it. Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. Because like
Yeah. So.
he has a jumpsuit that says Joe Harrison,
Mhm.
and this is Harrison's garage or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I'm trying to piece together, is that actually Joe Harrison, etc.
Yeah. Roll sharp for me,
Okay.
por favor. 8. Okay. So mixed success. Here is what you find. There's no employee of the month thing. Um, you do see a picture of it in its prime. It's dusty and it's one of those photos like you have to like wipe off the grime to get a good look of it. And
Right.
like in its heyday, 1960, it looked like you can see the glory it once had, but it was never like this is still a road not many people traveled. It definitely seems like whoever built this built it in the small hope that it might become something big, and it's struggled and done the best it can. Um, you do see like there's like a ma and pa in the '60s standing out front of the uh, the gas station, and on his shirt it does say Harrison.
Mhm.
Uh, you see 1960s. Yeah, you see a a boy like a teenage preteen boy who's like working on like a 1960s car in the photo, like out back by what you recognize as this shed.
Mhm.
And on that 8, it's hard to tell because the guy has lived so much life and he's lived it hard, right?
Mhm.
But it could be the same guy. Like that kid could be the guy you met outside.
Gotcha.
Um, and with that, let's just pop outside real quick
Yeah.
where he's filling up
Can I,
your
is there something I could do while he was doing this?
yeah, for sure.
I would like to try to actually kind of distract the guy a little bit and just sort of um, uh, like signal to Hannah like something's wrong, kind of like keep everyone cool. I'm gonna try to distract this guy for a second. I would like to charm him or manipulate him or whatever you want me to roll to kind of keep him occupied while
Yeah. Yeah. How about you tell me how you're gonna do it, and then we can decide what role that sounds like.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll out my window and step out and just talk to him and be like, "So, just how long you been here? You live around here?" Like,
Excellent.
just
Yeah. Just small talk type stuff.
absolute small talk. Yeah.
Cool. So hit me up with a charm roll, please.
Okay.
Okay. Nice work. A flat success. So, um, yeah, he kind of gives you the side eye at first. It seems like he's probably a closed off individual and he's not used to having people stop here, right? Like the
Yeah.
business clearly isn't doing that well. But he's like, yeah, I've been here all my life, ever since I was a kid. Uh, Ma and Pa opened this up back in the day. I've been doing my damnedest to see it through. Tell me, What business do you have around these parts?
Just going on a trip with my friends. We're just some young adults trying to some adults trying to get together, catch up. We all went to school here recently, and just want to have a reunion.
Uh, so you're pretty locals then.
Uh, yeah, definitely. Just a few miles away.
Well then you know best than most. Area around the Illinois River is pretty dangerous territory. If I were you, if you've gotten out, I wouldn't recommend sticking around for too long.
Oh man, let me tell you, don't. I'm out of here as soon as I get the chance. But man, I got family in the area. It just keeps sucking you back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
My brother,
Dark
my brother got out,
forest.
but my brother got out. He left a while ago. My dad, but I gotta look in on my family. My mom and whatnot.
You're a good son to do so. There's dark powers that have befallen our town. Of that you can be damned.
Yeah, you sound. I've heard that from some of the old folks around town. Also, while I'm doing this, I would like to. Oops.
Yeah. So by his feet, and I'll let you decide how you go about this because this could have complications, Jeff.
Uh-huh.
At his feet, though, you notice a or a jerry can that's half full of unleaded gasoline. That was there when you drove up. He didn't fill it, and it's possibly there for the taking. But if you do it in front of him,
Right.
you don't know his relation to that gas, right? So
Yeah, can I turn him away from it a little bit so that it's not quite in front of him?
you can certainly try. What are you gonna do?
Just kind of like I'm just kind of standing around, stretching my legs, walking while he's doing his business, and just sort of keep the conversation going, but turn away from the gas. I would kind of like to signal to like David or Hannah or whoever's looking at the window and just point to it.
Cool. David, Hannah, let's go ahead and roll sharp, see if we get that signal. Hannah does.
David does
David
not.
doesn't.
David's a little distracted.
Yeah. All right. So Hannah gives you the signal. But she kind of looks at you a little worried, like, you want me to steal this guy's gas? Like, is that the
Yeah.
best idea if this dude's gonna murder us?
Just in case we got to get out of here, kind of thing. I'm thinking we need the gas. Like,
Okay. So Hannah will try to grab it. That's gonna be a act under pressure roll from her. Wish her luck.
okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
You guys have the gas in the van.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. And I'm just chit chatting with him, just trying to get see if there's any. Basically, my entire charm roll is just full on distraction here, so I'm not like, you don't have to give me any specific information like that's relevant or whatever. But I am trying to keep him unaware of what anyone else around might be doing.
Cool. Fair enough. So we'll get back to Jason inside the building here real quick. David, Wyatt, anything you guys want to do outside with this guy while Jeff's distracting him? Yeah, there is a payphone stall next to that self-standing bulletin board that I mentioned.
So yeah, I will. I want to dial up Mags real quick.
Cool. Before you make the phone call.
Well, I was gonna look at that. I was gonna do the bulletin board while I was on the phone. So whichever order
Excellent.
you
Well,
do
it actually catches your attention.
Okay.
So I'm glad you had wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Because alongside the more mundane notices and local advertisements, you see 4 official missing persons reports that have been pinned to this bulletin board and
they
bear
match
the
the
seal of
names?
the. They do.
Okay.
They bear the seal of the Calhoun County Sheriff's Department, and you get uh, some more information from these reports. So the first report has a photograph of a young sandy-haired boy listed as Howie Carr, age 8. The second is a photograph of an awkward-looking preteen with short brown hair, cut in an extremely conservative haircut, listed as Ashton Hubbard. In this, he is aged 12. The third photo.
12.
That's what the report says. It says he's aged 12.
Can you do the
Jason
description
had
again real
thought
quick?
13.
You said
Yeah, he is an awkward-looking preteen with short brown hair, cut in an extremely conservative hairstyle.
Okay.
The third photograph on the report is of a heavy-set man with plump, rosy cheeks, adult acne, and a receding hairline. And he is listed as Elmer Dean, age 32, who Charles had, I believe, or Jason had mentioned was a hacker.
Yep.
And the fourth is
So
a
what was his name
photograph.
again, real quick. I'm trying to get all these.
Yeah,
things down real
Elmer
quick.
Dean.
Okay.
Elmer
thank you.
Dean. Yep. And then the fourth photograph is of a lanky teen with short dark hair, braces, and Coke bottle glasses. And he is listed as Calvin Carlson, age 14. On all of these reports, a lot of details actually match up. So, according to these reports, all 4 individuals went missing from their homes over the past week with no visible signs of struggle. All 4 individuals lived within 10 miles of Campsville and were reported missing by their parents, except for Elmer Dean, who was reported missing by his landlord. Along with this information, you get the number of the Calhoun County Sheriff's Department in Campsville. But that's kind of all the information that you glean from the bulletin board.
Can I sort of before I make the call, I want to take in the information that was given to me by Jason, the information that I have acquired by my sources, as well as the information I'm gathering from this bulletin board, and I'd like to investigate a mystery.
Roll.
Mm-hmm. All right, investigate a mystery. Here we go. Yes.
So win. 10 plus. That is
Can I ask
2.
two
and you get
questions
one
and
hold.
Okay. What is being concealed here?
An animal.
An animal. Okay. What's I guess what sort of creature is it? This is the best follow up to that. And if it's something I couldn't glean from that's fine.
No, I will give this to you. So this is a bit of a stretch. Like, you can't know for sure because you don't know that much about what's going on. You're still pretty early days in this mystery, right?
Sure.
But it's what clocks you as interesting is that all these people went missing from their homes with no sign of struggle. And in the case of the kids, right, it said like their parents had reported their beds were made. It's like they just vanished without a trace, right?
Mm-hmm.
With some of the stuff you've been dealing with recently, like this past year in your paranormal studies club, you start to recall these stories of fey creatures,
Okay.
like kidnapping children, like luring them away in a way that is very similar to what is being described here. But there is still a part of you that is a bit crazy, right? There could be any number of explanations, but like something in the back of your mind is like you think that there's a connection to the Fey Wilds here and something that may have come through.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense. I will compartmentalize that for now, and make my phone call to Mags. If you'd like to switch back to some others for now, that's fine, and come back to the call. But it's up to you.
Sure. Yeah. Let's hit up Jason inside the shop.
Cool.
Awesome. So I'm going to go towards the back of the shop where I assume kind of the bathroom is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to grab like some of like the dusty t-shirts, or one of the dusty t-shirts, and I'm going to grab a pack of lighters, and I'm going to kind of rip the end of a shirt a little bit, just to kind of give it a more ragged edge, thinking that maybe that'll burn a little bit more. And I'm going to pop open the pack of lighters and just try to shake one real quick, and then give it a couple of flicks to see if I can get it to light.
Cool. Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a. This is gonna be a bit strange. Do a plus weird for me just to see how well these lighters work. Right.
Mhm.
8. Cool. So it takes a moment, but yeah, you get one that can catch a spark.
All right, and so I put it next to the if there was like some paper on the desk or something, I grab that, and I kind of bundle that up. So I wrap the paper in the shirt with the torn edge, and then I just try to light the paper on fire.
Okay. What is your intention here? What do you want to have happen in this store?
My intention is that I'm going to build a small fire in like the bathroom area. And I would like to cause some amount of smoke.
Okay.
I don't really want to I don't want to burn this place down, but I do want to have enough smoke that the guy will want to run inside, and then I can go look into the thing.
Yep. Excellent.
The shed.
So here's what's going to happen. You do so. You create that smoke, and you make a run for it. And the people outside, Joe Harrison notes this, and when he sees the smoke kind of coming out from the front door, like, you can see on his face is legitimately concerned. Like, if this is indeed his family business, he has a vested interest in not having it burned to the ground. So, like, he immediately is like, I'm so sorry, and, like, drops the handle of the gas pump and starts running inside. Charles, I'll need an act under pressure to avoid him.
Okay.
Oh, when he goes, I'm gonna also.
Okay, where are you heading?
To the shack he ran out of.
The scary shack?
Oh no.
Okay. Cool.
Oh
So,
shit.
2 things happen simultaneously. Jeff, you make it to the shed because Joe Harrison is distracted. We'll get to what you find there in a second. Go ahead and mark experience. It is scary.
Okay.
Jason, so as you're running out of the building to try to get to the shed, because this is a building with only like the one door, right?
Yep.
You do run just bodily into Joe Harrison, who looks at you, and you can see in his face like he is panicked, and he's like, "What happened? Were you smoking? What's going on?"
So I'm gonna try to manipulate him.
Cool.
And I'm gonna turn on my unnatural appeal. And I'm going to. I'll roll it first, and then I'll say.
Nice.
And I do have. Do I actually? 1 second. I want to make sure that I do. I do have advanced manipulate.
Okay.
Which on advanced manipulate on a 10 plus, they do. If they do what I ask, they mark experience. If they're another hunter, if it's a normal person, they'll do it for the reason you gave them. And if I ask too much of them, they'll tell me the minimum, and I'll be like, no, I wasn't smoking. I don't know what happened. Like, maybe something in the back like lit on fire.
Yeah, and he totally buys that, and he's like, the electrical here's been shit since the 80s. And he just like starts running back, grabs a fire extinguisher from under the counter.
And then I go over to open the door with Jeff to the thing.
Yeah, so you guys meet up and open the door to the shed. Jeff, as you're standing there with Jason and open up the shed, inside You see hanging lanterns that are covering this room in warm light that is leaking through the slats of the shed. There's a lot of tools, both like hardware tools like saws, hammers, pliers, but also like socket wrenches, tire irons, things that would make sense for like working on a car. The scary thing that you see is in the middle of this room. There's a large table. It looks handmade, like Joe probably made this himself out of old gnarled wood. And lying on that table is a mangled carcass of a deer that looks smashed to bits, like it was probably hit by a car, and it looks like Joe has been processing it and cutting it into meat, maybe to sell as a side hustle or something like that, to not let the animal go to waste.
Jason puts his hand and like relaxes, like puts his hand on on Jeff's shoulder and is like, "Oh, thank God."
Uh,
And I
Let's
think
get
with
out of here.
that, we can end the scary music.
Yeah.
I mean, that works. That was great.
and I assume Jason like pocketed the pack of lighters, like, so it's
Mhm.
obvious. It's not obvious that he like started a fire, though.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the back there. So I'm gonna
With that, manipulate someone. Like I think Joe is like, yeah, the electrical's been shit,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So I think we try to fill up as much gas as we can. I actually take like do you have an estimate on how much it costs? Like,
For you, it's probably honestly like $1.10. Like you were well prepared, or
Yeah.
maybe a little more. Like you're down like a couple gallons. You've only
Yeah.
been driving for like an hour and a half. Jeff costs a little bit more. Like he's probably
Yeah.
up around like $10 or so.
Okay. So I take a 20 and I just put it on the table and say, Joe, we got to run, but here's 20. Keep the change. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah. So Joe won't. He's busy trying to fight the fire, but
Yeah.
he will get that money, and
Yeah.
everything will be good. Before we leave, though, Wyatt is currently on a phone call. So before we start driving off, let's just check in on that.
All right, so I'll dial Mag's her business number.
Okay.
So essentially, it's like an untraceable number that she because she's a hacker, so that's kind of her. When you want to contact her, you do it. You call her that number from a payphone.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Wyatt, what's up?
Hey, I just needed a favor from you.
Yeah, sure thing. Shoot me.
So we're up here near Campville, and
Okay.
what
are you doing in Campsville? There's nothing there.
Right. Actually, just going.
I mean, not that there's much in Brownstown. I guess you do you.
Well, I would go to the middle of nowhere from the middle of nowhere for vacation, right?
Yeah. You're crazy, Lawson.
Yeah. I was wondering if you could look into something for me. I you know how my brain goes. I get an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. What's up?
So I'm worried there's some other criminal organizations up here. And I just need you to do a quick peek at on a couple different names for me. There's some missing people or missing persons. I would like you to look up on. There's a Howie Carr, an age 8, Ashton Hubbard, age 12, Elmer Dean, age 32, and Calvin Carlson. What was the age on that one? I missed that one.
14.
Okay, thanks. And Calvin Carlson, age, you said 13?
14.
14, sorry.
1 4.
My bad.
No worries.
Calvin Carlson, age 13. See if you can work up any similarities on them.
Okay.
And see what you can find. This is a bit concerning.
Yeah, sure. You think they have criminal ties? These kids and this old guy?
I don't know if it necessarily I don't know if they have criminal ties. I just want to make sure there's not another criminal organization springing up in this area.
Okay.
With all the stuff that Brad and his group have been doing, I just want to make sure that we're on the level.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Do you have time to stick on the line now? I can go do a quick search, or should I
Has the
call you
building
back
caught fire
somewhere?
yet? At this point?
Yeah. It's not on fire. Like Joe went and is putting it out. Like, because my understanding was like Charles. It was more like you wanted to create smoke rather than fire.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. More smoke than fire.
Mm-hmm. Am I getting a sig on my beeper out here?
Roll me a weird. Let's see.
It's not my best, but we'll see how we do. Bam!
No.
No sig on my
Not out
beeper?
here.
Mm.
No.
How long do you need, Mags? Looks like we might be heading out soon.
Well, I could do a quick search. I mean, it depends on how deep these things go and where I need to crack into. It's hard to say. I could probably get you one fairly quick, if it doesn't take too much, and then you could call me back, or I could reach out to you somewhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll have to
whatever.
call you back. We're out in the middle of nowhere, like you said. And I'm not getting a signal on my beeper here, so. So here's so just see what you can get me on the 32-year-old. That's the one anomaly.
Okay.
The other ones.
Yeah. Just stay on the line real quick. Let me just do a quick thing, and yeah. So you hear like her like mechanical keyboard type deal, right? Typing in the back, and then she's like, "Whoa."
Did you find something?
Yeah. Wow. What have you heard about this guy?
Really just a description. Heavy set, plump rosy cheeks, receding hairline. I've heard he's a hacker.
Yeah, he might like to think himself that.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, so his hacking career, and you can like hear the air quotes as she says it. From what I just pulled up, in even the faintest of searches, is a self-written internet blog that is both vitriolic and incredibly misogynistic. Apparently, he claims to be a men's rights activist.
A what?
She's just silent.
That's a thing?
She does another quick search. Is like, apparently since the 1970s.
Huh. Okay.
This guy is awful.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, and she kind of describes some of the stuff he's writing, and like while the nomenclature might not be there in 1994, like to use the modern parlance, you're getting like heavy incel vibes from this dude and his writing.
He's definitely
like
a red pill individual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
With, even though we're like 5 years before that reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Huh. Well, I wish I had more time. If you find anything, if you find anything that's really dangerous, just hit me at 911 on my pager, or on my beeper. Other than that, I'll try to give you a call back as soon as I get back to a phone.
Yeah,
But,
I'll start looking into the others right away,
Yeah.
and I'll have
I really
something for you
appreciate that.
next time we talk.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
stay safe up there.
Yeah.
And if you meet this guy, slap him for me. Jesus.
As hard as I can. I will. All right. Thanks, Max. And I'll hang out and I'll sort of like finally then start to take in the scene now that I'm out of my conversation mode. As there's smoke pouring out. Jeff and Jason are now hanging out in a shed.
They've made their way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys probably cross each other, so if you wanted to give a signal, like, it's not what we thought, or whatever.
It's okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely give like a thumbs up on my way back as I've covered my gun up again.
Yeah. I'll make my way back over to the truck. Now that we're filled up and ready to roll. When I hop back in with Jason, I'm like, what the hell happened in there?
He has a dead deer.
Oh,
Like, he has some roadkill, it looks like, and he was just processing it. Probably making jerky or something. Probably got a side business or feeding his family. Everything's good. I left him twice as much money than what we owed. Like, I did
What-
start a small fire.
what about
in
the
his
fire?
pocket.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, what happened with the fire?
Well, I needed a distraction so I could go look at the shed.
I
Okay.
feel like
So
in the van, David and Holly have just been sitting quietly watching all this go down.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Next time, just ask me to do it, man. It's kind of my job.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. I just
But hey, man,
I-
you know,
I-
I like your initiative. I like it.
Similarly, I'll explain like that it looks like it was just a deer. So
Yeah. I will relay to Jason. So I had him look up this Elmer Dean individual. From what it looks like, they claim to be a hacker. My resource told me that they're not really much of a hacker. What they are, in fact, is a somewhat of an extremist. From what they're seeing on their internet presence, they're very outspoken, and I've never heard this term.
oh shit, they have a Usenet account.
Probably. Now I've never heard this term before, and I know it sounds super stupid, but he's apparently a men's rights activist.
what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't.
Yeah. What?
Aren't all rights men's rights? I don't understand.
Whatever. Regardless, this individual had a bit of a vitriolic past. I'm wondering if that ties in at all. Regardless, I have my source looking into other information. If we get a chance to, if there's a phone, I don't know if this place has a phone. I doubt it does. If we get a chance to go back to a phone, I can potentially get an update from my source.
Sure.
Yeah. What'd you find out other than it's a deer?
I mean, that it looks like this guy is legit. He, grew up here. I found a picture of him. It looks like, I think, and his parents started this gas station in the '60s. It looked like
So he just looks like a creepy fucker.
oh, it's a shithole. Like, the food and stuff was moldy inside. Like this is if I was gonna write like a horror novel, this would be it, right? This guy would tell us to turn back and some shit, because like, whew,
You ever think we're just living in a horror novel? I mean, ugh.
I mean, I'm 17. We're going out to a cabin in the woods, and I definitely had a Magnum that I was ready to shoot a guy with because I thought he was butchering some kid in there.
Magnum? Oh, I it's a little bigger than my 9mm. You're packing some serious heat there, Jason.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know what it takes to stop me, so
Fair point. Well,
Right. So you guys are heading back on the road.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just kind of our getting back to going where we're going conversation, I guess.
Yeah. Jeff, David, anything in your guys' van? Anything that needs to be addressed before we?
I feel like I try and when he gets in the car, I just try to get up to his ear, and after all of this has gone on, I'm like, dude, do you think this girl likes me?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait. He's gonna say that like is Hannah? Who hears this?
I'm trying to say it
whisper
just to Jeff. I'm trying to whisper
Okay.
just to Jeff.
I'll be like, dude. I'll give him the like, dude. You should hit that.
Oh, Jeff!
and when, at the hit that's when Hannah gets in the passenger seat, missing
Yeah.
comment. Yeah, by a hair's.
I'm like, okay, and I go back and sit where with Holly.
She looks at you a little bit, like taking in everything. Like, is everything okay? I thought I saw smoke out there.
I think that had something to do with Jason. I don't know. He might have been trying to smoke and it caught something on fire. I mean, this gas station's kind of like a powder keg. We probably should get going. But it looks like it was just we actually we got kind of that creepy vibe. I think he was just. I think he just had he was just cutting up a deer for like food because it's kind of remote out here. It wasn't
that's
anything.
Kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, guys got to eat, right?
Yeah. You don't smoke, do you, David?
David.
That's you, Nate.
No, I don't. Never smoke.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's bad for you. Yeah. Cool. Cool. And you guys continue driving.
Woo.
So it doesn't take that much longer for you guys to get to just outside Campsville proper. The next major hurdle is you guys know that Campsville essentially sits on a peninsula between the Missouri and Illinois River, or sorry, the Mississippi and Illinois River,
Mhm.
and you have to wait a little bit once you're back on the freeway because from Route 108, Hampsville is only accessible by ferry unless you want to travel hours out of your way to the nearest bridge. Now, us in real life being from the Pacific Northwest, it's not those type of ferries. These are like Oregon Trail fording the river style. They're like pontoon boats that can like accommodate maybe 6 cars at a time.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Campsville Ferry is one of 2 permanent ferries operated by the Illinois Department of Transportation. It crosses the Illinois River, is free, and it runs 24/7. So there is just a little bit of a wait while the captain gets everything situated. But pretty soon, you guys cross the river and move over into Campsville. So at this point, I would like to know from you guys a little bit of your plans. So in order to get to Holly's cabin, you're gonna need to drive through Campsville. So you will kind of see it. Would you like to stop in Campsville first, or would you like to kind of make it to the cabin, get situated, and then you can go explore from there?
I think get situated at least. I mean,
Yeah.
we got a Warhammer game to play.
Yeah, it sounds like what you do as a teenager.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys drive through the city center of Campsville, or the village center. It's really not that big. The buildings of this small historic village are constructed in a Civil War era architectural style, and were clearly renovated and modernized somewhat in the 1960s or 70s, which would kind of make sense of why like Joe's parents probably opened up their gas station at that time. The facades on the buildings lining the main street give a somewhat anachronistic Wild West feel to the village. The downtown area is small, consisting of a general store, a post office, a bank, a combination restaurant saloon, the Calhoun County Sheriff's Department, a restorationist family church, and a one-screen cinema that is still playing Jurassic Park, which released earlier in June this year.
Ooh.
Told you it'd be coming back. Just off the main thoroughfare down the road a bit, there's a brownstone manor that houses the Center for American Archaeology, an independent nonprofit research and education institute dedicated to the exploration of prehistoric Native Americans and to a lesser extent, the European settlers who supplanted them. But you kind of drive through Campsville towards the cabin, and on the outside of the village proper lies what is called the Macaulay Heritage Project. And this is 940 acres of forested hills and hollows. Camping, hiking, deer hunting, and other forms of outdoor recreation are common in these parts, while swimming, fishing, kayaking, and other water sports are frequently enjoyed on the river, though the crowds drawn to the Illinois are significantly fewer than those of the nearby Mississippi. Secluded in the Macaulay Heritage Project off a dirt road lies the Watson's cabin. It is within walking distance of a horse ranch called the Soapweed Horse Ranch that runs parallel to Great River Road on the southeastern border of the Macaulay Heritage Project. Um, and yeah, a little bit of time passes on this dirt road, but you arrive at the cabin and kind of take it in. So the Watson's cabin is a single-story, 2-bedroom, 1-bath cabin that you guys were told was built by Holly's father sometime in the 1980s. It's cozy and secluded amongst the catalpa trees of the surrounding woods. And as you walk up, it has a jute welcome mat that reads Watson's Place. It is completely off the grid, getting power from a gas generator around the back, and there is no phone line.
Figured.
It has a full kitchen, charcoal grill, and outdoor fire pit. Inside, as you guys start moving your stuff in, stocking up, you see that it is stocked with dishes, kitchen utensils, cookware, towels, linens, and one of the closets, along with some emergency flashlights. Holly's mom has collected some board games and puzzles. Outside, there's a picnic table in the yard that can easily accommodate 6 people or a Warhammer game.
Yeah.
And the property has direct access to several hiking trails and isn't terribly far from the banks of the Illinois River.
On
And
the way
yeah,
in,
this
I'd
is
like
where
to make a bet with Jason that there are at least 14 crosses on the wall.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll take the over on
Okay,
that.
you say there's more, I'll say there's less. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk in. Unfortunately, no crosses on the wall.
Wow.
There
I
is
won
in
$1.
one corner a photo of Jesus, which has like an under light that is currently off because the gas generator is not on because it's still light outside. Since
I was
you guys
like,
left so early. But
I nudge him and I'm like, that counts for like 5.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's still under 10 or still under 14, bud. We'll take my dollar.
We haven't seen the
now.
entire place yet.
It's true. It's true. It's true. So yeah, we'll I guess we'll stake out the cabin itself and figure out who's gonna be staying where and what. That's usually the first thing we do when we get there, right?
Cool. Yeah, I think you can kind of come to an agreement with everyone that like as stated, clearly one of these rooms were meant for Holly's parents, and it is the larger room. And I think the girls are perfectly fine with you boys taking that one since there are more of you. The other room was Holly's room, right? So it's a little, it's still, it's not like overtly girly, but it's still like very clearly a girl's room, right?
Yeah.
And that's where they kind of put their stuff.
Sounds good.
There are just there are just the 2 beds in the room though, so take that as y'all will.
Oh, for
Like one bed in each room.
Oh, one bed in each room. That's fine. Yeah.
No, we got the extra sleeping bags.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Sounds good. Okay, so I guess we'll get everything unloaded, and is there an ice box to put the beer in?
There is, and the like you have to, like someone's gonna need to go turn on the gas generator, but like the kitchen is fully stocked, so there is like a small refrigerator too that can turn on. It's like there's no food here, obviously, like because they only come here once a year, right? But
Yeah, makes sense. Sweet. All right, so I will sort of get everything situated, get the beer pulled out. I will make sure to put the Milwaukee's Best front and center in the inside the refrigerator, just so Holly feels appreciated. But it will be vastly surrounded by the natty ice that I was able to acquire.
nice.
Some sort of cheap, just cheap beer, because we're high school kids. Yeah, and then I'll go get situated in the main cabin, I suppose.
Sounds good. Yeah, at this point, as you're loading stuff up, Hannah has got Holly kind of occupied with like setting up their stuff in their room.
Mm-hmm.
So like, granted, you'd beat down Hannah Pope, but this could be a good opportunity if you guys wanted to get together and share what you've learned outside of any prying ears, right?
Sure, perfect. So I'll pull Jason and Jeff and David aside while Hannah is keeping Holly occupied. Now we'll pull into the boys' room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a distraction, be like, "Hey fellas, let's figure out the sleeping arrangements," and I'll kind of gather everybody in one room.
Okay.
And as soon as I close the door, I'll sit down and say, "Well, boys, vacation's over already. Back to work."
So,
What?
do you guys think that girl likes me?
Yeah, dude.
Yes. I just like Jason just looks at him and goes, "Yes, she's definitely into you."
Get you some.
Yeah, she likes
Not if vacation's over.
I kind of like lean over towards David, and I don't try to broadcast this to the whole room. And I was like, "If you need protection, man, just come to me, okay?"
I've got my sword.
He's got a he's got a Magnum.
I
Yeah, the
I-
gun, not an actual condom. Yeah.
yeah. So I show him. I basically just pull a condom out of my pocket, and I kind of show it to him a little bit.
Pull the gun out. Hey, baby, I got protection.
And then his eyes go wide, and he's like, "Ooh."
He's like, "Look, no pressure, okay? You know, but if things are going in that direction, your cousin's got you covered, okay?"
Okay.
I'm
But
just
you know
like,
what? You know, no pressure. He kind of
Right, no pressure.
He
No
knows
pressure.
exactly how much pressure that is, and it just makes his whole day.
stop thinking about it. God damn it.
All right. All right. So down to business, boys. We've we've got work to do. He kind of says in a
Yeah, and I put down a box of Warhammer figurines. We got a whole day of Warhammer ahead of us.
I wish that were it. He says kind of.
Do you? You play Warhammer? You play 40K?
No. But Jason, do you want to start? Just because
Yeah.
he doesn't know if he can tame Jeff, but he knows Jason can.
Yeah. I pull out the piece of paper that I've now been carrying with me, and definitely flash past the fact that I have a gun tucked into my waistband. Like pulls out the piece of paper, puts it on the bed, and is like, "There's been four people that have gone missing in the last week. One of them was yesterday. Another one was Tuesday or was Wednesday morning. All from Campsville. Additionally, some of what Wyatt here, his people he knows have been talking about. Apparently, there's been some kind of supernatural goings on that have been spilling out into the surrounding area. Have maybe I don't know exactly how to explain it or what even it is right now, but apparently things have been getting kind of weird, not just
Yeah.
around here.
You know, he kind of turns to David and he's like, "I'm getting definite like fairy vibes off this, right? Like these are a bunch of kids that went missing, right? So like, and then he kind of stops, like, you know that, right? Sorry, I went over that part of the story.
What?
Oh, let's fill them in so yeah, we'll fill them in all the way on the missing kids and everything, so we don't have to go
Yeah, so
over that
it's been 3 missing kids and an adult.
yeah.
Howie Carr, aged 8. Ashton Hubbard, aged 14. Elmer Dean, aged 32. Or sorry, Ashton Hubbard was aged 13. Calvin Carlson was aged 14.
Mhm.
And then he was the latest. And so, like, and I relay all the information around Campsville.
Yeah.
And this is the police's business, and and this is our business and not the police's because
Like I said, it sounds very fairy-ish. Kids just walking out of their house going missing.
David, does this look magical to you? I assume you have your monster manual on you.
Yeah, I do. It's like I mean, this is one time I think where he's finally lucid after girl.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, obviously this is magic. Like, what do you think we do here? Like, there's a little werewolf standing in this room. Like, obviously this is magic in nature.
What I mean, like the missing people, not Jason.
No shit. Yes, I think
All
there's magic involved.
All right,
I
man,
think there's
keep it in your
legit
pants for
magic.
now. Like you save that energy for later.
Like Wyatt kind of like snaps at Jeff a little bit. He's like, "We have more important things here, man."
What's more important than getting one of our brothers some
Somewhat. Jason just looked at him.
some action, man?
Dude, he's a sophomore in high school. He's got plenty of time for that.
You seniors, you think you're like so mature.
Then I just kind of look over at at Jason, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that. All right. All right. Well, should we bring Hannah in on this, and how are we gonna handle it around our new third wheel, as it were.
Well, I don't want to get her in trouble or anything, so
You also
we should
don't
just
wanna
go
get her
check.
killed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Right?
Yeah, you may.
I mean, I think probably David can keep a good handle on her. Haha. See, I'm helping. I look over at Jeff a little bit. But ultimately, I think, yeah, David could probably like watch out for her and stuff. But yeah, I would like to go. I don't know, maybe investigate. Like we could drive by some of these houses where these people are.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
down for that.
You said you called your friends and they're gonna get back to you.
Yeah, we can definitely head into town and I'll meet up with my my resource.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at this
Fine.
point, with what you guys have discovered, there were phone numbers for at the very least some of the children listed on those missing persons reports you kind of saw in the newspaper, Jason. But thus
Yeah.
far, there was no definitive addresses given.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be something you'd have to look into.
I mean, we
But-
could try. Yeah, I say so. I say as much, right? Like I'm like, yeah, we don't really have any good leads. We could work through Wyatt's people. We could also, I mean, we could just try to like bluff our way into the police station and see if for the local sheriff here and see if they could what information we could find. I'm sure Hannah and I could always tell them we're from a newspaper. You know, we're student reporters or something.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. I could also have one of my resources reach into the local the local resource system here, the legal system, and see what they can find.
Yeah.
I have resources at my at my disposal for that sort of thing.
I mean,
so I think
also both might be good.
I think generally our next step is going to be let's head into town. We'll split up. David, you can take Holly and do your thing, and then the rest of us will kind of split up into two groups and do some investigating. Sound fair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. All right. Oh shit, our game, man.
Just as Jeff is like, "Oh shit, our game, man!" You hear language as Holly and Hannah rejoin you guys, and Holly. It looks if they overheard anything, they're not giving off any indication of it. And Holly looks super excited to have settled in, and is like, "All right, what are we going to be doing first?"
So I
Well-
figured we'd
Some
maybe head
spin
into
the
town.
bottle.
I figured maybe we'd head into town, grab a bite, get some lunch, and sort of maybe some any remaining supplies that we have left over, and then we can come back and get situated. What do you think?
Sure, sounds great. Hannah just remembers all the money they spend on food and is like, oh, no. We've got way too much. Cool.
Fine. Little does she know that I will eat most of it.
Yep. 100%. Cool. All right. So you guys are planning to go into town. What are the groups and what are you all going to be doing?
All right, so I think once we get to town, I think Hannah and Jason and Jeff and myself will split off and kind of give Holly and David some alone time. That way, David can keep Holly busy and also maybe get busy. and yeah, I think that's. And then the rest of us will. I will go and make my phone call, and then we will continue from there. Based
Cool.
on what
Where are
information-
you making your phone call from? Like which building are you heading
Let's
to?
go find like a diner or something because we said we were gonna get lunch. So let's just
Yeah, so the
do
only, because it's not that big of a
Yeah.
village, so the only thing you got in that regard is a combination restaurant saloon. But it's 1993, there are payphones outside.
Cool. So yeah, while folks are getting lunch underway, I will call Mags back.
Cool. Sounds good. So we're gonna do lunch, we're gonna make a phone call. Anyone else have any place else they want to explore in the village? Because everything is within walking distance, essentially. So
I mean, I
it's
think
a real small, compacted area.
I think is there a is this like a tourist destination, or is it just a more just like a very small, like strip
The
mall type
latter.
town? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a small strip mall with like your most common like stores. It's just like the Radio Shack, the
Probably not even
whatever Kroger brand shopping mall or
Not even that. It's like it's literally like cell phone businesses, small time shop.
Okay.
Like there's literally like all they have is a general store, post office, bank, the restaurant,
Okay.
saloon,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sheriff's department. Yeah, like that. That's literally all there is. The rest of it is like it's residential or like kind of like what Holly's got, right? Like cabins and people enjoying the river and the woods. Right?
Gotcha.
So like
Okay.
there are people who come here for touristy stuff, but it's not that big of an area that it's really blossomed from that, right?
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
people just kind of stick to themselves.
That sounds like a really boring place to be.
And welcome to Illinois.
Shit, I don't know. I mean, I think I am definitely going to be oopsing around when we get there.
This
Yeah,
is
I think
potentially big, Jeff. What building are you oopsing around?
Name the buildings again.
All right, so you have a general store, a post office, a bank, a restaurant, saloon, the sheriff's office, a restorationist family church, a one-screen cinema, and a brownstone manor that houses the Center for American Archaeology.
Oh shit. Archaeology.
Okay.
I mean, that's it.
So
That's the
cool.
that's the person that I am as a player. But I feel like Jeff would probably just walk past it, and that's when he would probably be like, "Huh?"
Cool. So yeah, let's say like you guys are walking to the saloon to get lunch, and for Wyatt to make his phone call, and you kind of spot this brownstone manor, just kind of off the road. It's not in the city center, but it's just a few steps away, and you kind of break off, and the rest of you kind of notice him heading that. It's clearly labeled. There's a big sign out front.
I'll kind of let him do his thing, but I'll follow, but in a I'll keep a wide berth and kind of let Jeff do his thing.
Cool. So you enter the American Center for Archaeology. It's not like a closed off business. Like people can come. It's almost like you can almost think of it as like it is an organization, and there are people there who are studying Native American lifestyles and stuff like that. But there's almost an air of like museum about it.
Mhm.
So like people can come in and explore. Doors open. There's a desk there. Whoever's there is gone right now. You know, maybe talking to another visitor or having lunch or whatever the case. And there is a book that you find on the desk that seems to have come from this institution's collection.
Mhm.
And as far as your oops, you find a musty old tome detailing the legend of the Sunkawakan, horse spirits that were revered by the ancient Cahokia peoples that lived nearby modern day Collinsville. And you might be familiar with them. They were the ones who had like the mound cities in Civ 6.
Mhm.
And yeah, the writings in there are very focused on the Native American beliefs around these horse spirits. But from like the depiction of them and even a native drawing of them, David and Jeff, you recognize a creature from the monster manual, something that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. And you know, obviously they weren't known by this name by the native peoples of America, but to the European settlers, what these pictures are illustrating is a unicorn.
Ooh.
Oh.
And here is the word. And I'll leave you with that for a minute. I'm just going to use the restroom, and then we can go on and have lunch, right? Be right back.
Oh wow. All right. Sunkawakan. Interesting.
So David, you're with me. We're
Wyatt's with you.
well, he said David.
I said David?
No, Kyle did.
Oh. All right.
What?
Did you follow him into the museum?
No. So maybe I might go in like with Holly, but like sort of like trail a little bit so we can kind of like look at individual exhibits and like just keep her focused on like not what we're investigating.
Sounds good to me. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry for that. Yeah,
No
so you just got
worries.
that information. What now?
So David is here.
Yeah, so I was in the museum with him, but with Holly, and like because she's like into school and stuff, I was trying to keep it like at least keep enough distance to like separate her from the investigation.
Cool. Roll charm for me, but take it with a +1 forward for her already thinking you're charming.
That makes it a 0.
David's a little awkward.
It's not his fault, but yeah, he is. Super awkward.
Wow!
No, I fucked it up.
Oh
Okay,
my
okay.
god, did you roll a 0?
It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not
Okay.
even possible to roll a 0.
Because I put the plus sign in.
Oh,
Well,
Uh,
if you have a -2, it'd be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
possible if you have a
Okay,
-2.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So you do so. She's more interested in you and stuff like that. But it's definitely the mixed success here is you're definitely doing it in that way where like a boy finally realizes a girl likes him and is almost like overcompensating of like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool, right? Do you like this? And it's just like a super
Yeah.
awkward interaction, but she's still loving every moment of it.
Yeah.
So do you like stuff and junk?
Yeah.
Do you like ponies?
Yeah, she loves horses.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So what next?
I guess we go make the phone call.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're gonna go make a phone call, right?
Yes. So we've
Okay.
we've explored
I'm gonna
the
point out to
email.
David, like, dude, this looks like this is in the monster manual, right? This looks exactly like David.
Yeah.
David,
Yeah. I'm paying attention.
yeah, dude, this is in the monster manual, right? Yeah, check this out.
Yeah.
I don't know what Holly says to this, but
Oh, I thought like David was trying to kind of shield her from.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not like as close to you, so I don't know as much about what's going on. So I'm trying to impress her, and part of it is, oh my god, this girl likes me, and the other part is I need to make sure she's not exposed to the horrible that is about to happen to her.
do you like horses, Holly?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I was hoping that maybe tonight, before sunset, we could all go to the horse ranch near the cabin and feed the horses. I thought that would be fun and like, I don't know, romantic, maybe or something. Whatever.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Cool. Yeah. No, I love horses.
Be cool. I've never been around horses, but I'm sure they'd be cool.
I got stuff to do, guy stuff. I might not be able to make it, but you guys go on ahead and have fun. Without me, don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
It's not sunset yet.
Yeah, we still need lunch.
That's several
Right.
hours away.
I am hungry.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Anyway, yeah. So, let's go get some lunch.
Cool. So you
Cool.
guys make your way up to the restaurant saloon. Outside, Wyatt, you are free to make your phone call.
All right, yeah, we'll dial Mags again.
Cool. Hey,
Hey,
Wyatt.
yeah, we just got back to town. It seems like the payphone coverage up here is slim to none. What you got
Gotcha.
for me?
Yeah, so first and foremost, a little bit more on Elmer Dean. I did some digging into his into like city records.
Mhm.
And yeah, so he's unmarried. Seems
I
like
mean, that's-
misanthropic.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
based on how you
it's stuff
described it,
I
it
could have
makes sense.
probably told. Yeah, yeah. But so he was reported missing earlier this or late last week, earlier this week, by his landlord, a guy named Lee Norris, and according to his statement he gave to the police, this guy had no friends or nearby relatives and was the type of guy who preferred to spend time alone, just at the computer writing his nonsense.
Hmm.
So if something bad happened to, well, I could understand. I could give you some reasons why some people might want to take him out, but I'm not sure he knew anyone to disappear him, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
As far as the
Okay.
others, yeah. So Howie Carr did some digging into school records. Actually found a couple things. So Howie is the son of Daryl and Dolores Carr, 8 years old. He was an honor roll student at Calhoun Elementary School.
Okay.
And I mention this because the other one, Calvin Carlson, was 14 years old, son of Willard and Ashley Carlson,
Mhm.
Soon to be freshman at Calhoun High School. He was a star performer of his middle school mathletes team at Calhoun Elementary School.
So the
Um,
connection is that they went to the same school.
between those two, yeah. I
Okay.
don't know how they're connected with Elmer Dean.
Mhm.
Yeah, apparently, I have some sources where some records were posted, some like receipts filed with the county. It looks like Calvin Carlson was working a summer job as a ranch hand at something called the Soapweed Horse Ranch.
Okay.
Um,
That's interesting. See, Calvin Carlson. Okay.
yeah, Ashton Hubbard, the son of Archie and Linda, aged 12.
Mhm.
Um, he did not go to school with the other two. He went to Carrollton Grade School, which, if my maps are accurate, is on the other side of the ferry from you
Okay.
guys right now.
Okay.
But he was an altar boy at the Restorationist Family Church of Campsville. Um, and that's all I was able to find on him going through the records. Now, from what I saw, all four of these individuals went missing, reported missing from their homes this
Yeah.
past week. No
Mhm.
visible sign of struggle. All four lived within 10 miles of Campsville, and if you need, I can grab addresses.
That would be
All
very
reported
helpful.
missing by their parents, except Elmer Dean, who was reported by his landlord.
Mhm.
Um, oh, one thing that was weird, according to what their parents told the police and what uh, Lee Norris said in his statement, the one thing, the only thing that really links all of them is that they all complained about feeling as if they were being watched the day of their disappearance.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. What was the name of that ranch again?
Soapweed Horse Ranch.
Hopeweed or soapweed?
Soapweed,
Okay, thank
like
you.
bath time. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully that helps. And she lists off like she's like, "Do you have a paper and pen handy?"
I do. He pulls out a pen and paper.
Cool. And she gives you the addresses of the four, and she's like, point of contact for the kids will obviously be their parent.
Mm-hmm.
uh, Elmer Dean, you'll need it to access his, like, he rents a house. Like, you'll need to go to this address to meet with the landlord. He can let you in.
Okay. And what if I wanted to get on my own?
Oh, she gave you the address to him, and she's like, "That's
Oh,
your
okay.
business." Yeah.
Well, you know how I do. All right, Mags. I owe you one.
Yeah, yeah. I'll hold you to that. Good luck with whatever it is you got involved in.
No, you know me. I'll be in touch.
Yeah. Be safe, Wyatt.
We'll do.
She hangs up.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I will head into the saloon and have lunch, and then I'll sync up with everybody after after we split up after lunch.
Cool. Yeah. So like it's uh you know, kind of old timey. It's like walking into a Western movie almost. There's very few people there, but like the people who run it, like the waitress who comes and greets you, is like dressed in modern clothes. It's very kind of like out of place and out of time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys eat. What you guys get for lunch?
I think Wyatt will probably just get like a burger and fries, and a milkshake maybe. Let's just say strawberry.
Sweet.
Yeah, probably something similar for David, except chocolate, not strawberry.
Holly orders the same, and like talks with you about like, oh, you like chocolate, and strikes up a conversation during lunch.
Yeah.
Jason gets a chicken fried steak and eggs.
I
Give
think
me
Jeff,
all the bacon and eggs that you have.
I think Jeff
Yep.
just gets a burger.
Yeah, Hannah gets the one vegetarian option, which is a side salad and fries.
But it's like a side salad, but like minus all of the meat that they would normally put in it.
No, it's literally just like lettuce on a small plate. It's like the most sad thing you've ever seen.
with an overflowing cup of ranch dressing.
You sure you don't
Yeah.
want the bacon bits in that, hon?
Well, it also probably comes with like purple cabbage, which she may or may
Mhm.
not like, and so Jason will just eat that as well.
Cool. Yeah. And now she's like, I'm glad we bought a lot of that food. I'm going to devour some grilled cheese when we get back.
Right?
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah. You guys eat without incident.
Sweet. All right. Well,
Yep.
after we finish up eating, Wyatt will suggest. What do you think? What do you guys say we go for like a quick little walk around town, just a little exploratory? Meet up back here in like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. What do you say?
What? We already did that. There's nothing to do in this like one horse
And I'm
town.
just
I mean,
gonna elbow the heck crap out of Jeff. Wham!
Ow.
Elbow.
Like, I wish this were the type of game I could give you experience for the pun one horse town, just with
Yeah.
everything that's coming
I
together.
know,
Right.
right? Yeah.
I like the idea though that Holly would be like, well, actually, there's several horses in this
Yeah.
town.
Actually, there are at least 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this town is known for, is horses.
To be 5 more. Yeah, so, we'll just walk off this meal and then meet back here, and we'll kind of make our way back to the cabin and start having our camping fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hannah will kind of look at Holly, and they kind of break off, have a little modest discussion, like, "Hey, do you want some alone time? Are you cool?" And I think at this point, she's actually warmed up a little bit. It's like, yeah, no, yeah, I can walk with David. Like, that's super cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you go do your thing. And so Hannah will join up with Wyatt and be like, finally, I get to enjoy my vacation.
And
There you go.
Wyatt will pull her in close, and the first time they've gotten to be kind of together a little bit, and he'll put his arm around her.
Oh, yeah, she loves it.
So once they break off, then Wyatt will go into what he discovered. All right. So this is what.
Oh, real quick. So David, you're with Holly. Are you breaking away? Or are you going to be like, hey, I need just 1 minute to try to catch this conversation, or how are you going to play this?
I think I'll just head out with Holly. Like,
Okay. Catch him up later.
Yeah, cool.
Wait, am I with you? And I'm not with you guys either, right? Or am I?
No, you are.
No, you're coming with us. Like,
We
Okay,
are-
good.
we are-
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
giving
yeah.
Holly and David
Jason-
alone time.
Good.
When-
Okay, that's what I thought. I just
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah.
when Wyatt and Hannah be all coupley, Jason just puts his arm around Jeff. He's like, "Come on, bud, let's go."
All right.
All right.
So-
So,
Yeah,
Wait, no, man,
yeah.
I don't need anyone.
I just
so I relay some of that information back to them. Real quick, I wanted to ask about the Soapweed Ranch before we go, but I think we can glean that one on our own. We don't have to ask Holly about it. Cool. So yeah, I just kind of give them a once over of the information that Mags gave me. Not mentioning Mags by name, obviously, but just mentioning her as my resource. And then so what do you guys think? Where do you think the first place we should go? My suggestion would be Elmer Dean's house. I think I can get us in.
I went to the museum earlier and found mythology of the local. Hang on, what's the name of the tribe? The
So these were the Cahokia people.
Cahokia people.
They're all gone, right?
I don't know that much about that to answer correctly.
And their myths and legends of the Suncohuacan. That honestly, like from our because I like David from David's Monster Manual, we know that that kind of looks like a unicorn. Like there might be some kind of like actual supernatural tie here. So like I already found some information about that.
Well done.
Hannah looks a little puzzled, but unicorns are super cool, right? Like they're what's
Oh,
that
man.
word, David? Or is he lawful good, neutral good? They're good. She's like, right?
Wait, so actually, out of character, what would the Monster Manual have said about them? Because I assume they're not good, right?
No, they are
They are.
actually.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah, so from the Monster Manual, you gain they are good, either lawful or neutral. They are fey creatures from the Feywilds. the major thing about unicorns, according to the Monster Manual lore, is in this edition of D&D, they can be taken as mounts, but they will only allow themselves to be ridden by elven maidens.
Ah,
Same.
Yeah.
Perfect.
nice.
Well, that's some interesting information there, Jeff. I was thinking this potentially was something Fey, so I think that leads to that theory. I think our first stop should be. We only got about an hour, so I think our first stop should be. Let's go to Elmer Dean's and see what we can find. The other thing we should look into is the kid Calvin Carlson, the 13-year-old kid. He was working as a ranch hand at the Soapweed Ranch. So there's a horse connection. So what do you guys think? Where should we go?
I mean,
So
I kind of want to play some Warhammer, but
I'm with you, man. I'm happy to play Warhammer. I'm still learning the rules. But if I think about this, we all wanted to go look at the horse ranch, but that's actually near the cabin, so we can do that later. Elmer Dean seems to be the one that's like the person that's outside of the norm for this. Like 4 people are missing, 3 of them are 14 or younger. Elmer Dean is 32 years old. Like this guy's an adult.
Yeah. Well, let's head to his house then.
All right, so
Sounds good.
you guys head to the address listed. Meanwhile, David, it seems like you guys have an hour, and Jeff, you kind of heard this conversation earlier as well. Like later in the evening, Holly wanted to go to the Soapweed Horse Ranch to
Yeah.
feed the horses, and I know you're like, I'll give David some space, but it sounds like maybe there's something to investigate there, perhaps, right? Like,
yeah, I wasn't trying to invite myself, but I was trying to invite myself.
yeah, totally get it. But so David, with that plan kind of on the books later tonight, what are you going to do with this hour alone with Holly?
Probably just walk around with her around town, see if there's a place she's interested in seeing, or like, because her family's been here a while. So I'll say, well, what's a place you like here?
Well, there's really not that much to do in town. Like I have a lot of nostalgic memories of like the cabin, and like I love the horses, and like playing in the water is really fun, and like even doing like hiking and forest stuff has been a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to St. Charles, but it's kind of very suburban, so we don't have much nature. So it's always kind of fun for me, to get out.
Yeah.
Hold
You
that
like
hand,
nature?
Nate.
And stuff.
Go into the woods.
Yeah. I've never been out here before, so I just I've never been camping before, so this is all new for me.
Oh my goodness! Well, I'm so glad I can be your first time. I mean that that camping. I'm excited to be here with you while you experience it for the first time. So, are you excited for school to start up? She immediately tries to.
Yeah. I think I'll, it's hopefully be more. Freshman year's like classes are so kind of boring. I'm hoping for more interesting stuff this year.
Yeah. Jason, I wasn't like hanging out with him or anything. I was at Hannah's place and he stopped by because they're friends. He said that like you were really good at sports and you were gonna do like some sports things, and I think that's really cool because I really like music and I played the flute since I was a kid, and I'm looking forward to going to marching band. And if you were doing sports and I was in the band, maybe we could see each other at games or like after.
Yeah.
If you
So I
wanted to.
haven't like joined, like I do Taekwondo with him. I haven't done like haven't didn't do any sports last year, but like there were other things I had going on, and my parents were kind of like not into me going out for sports, but that's not an issue anymore. So that's something I could do.
I don't play
They
sports.
changed their
My
mind?
body is a lethal weapon.
Yes, I think they're still married.
Oh no, she said, did they change their mind about sports? right?
Oh, yes. He's like, yes, they did. Oh, see, not really going into the whole. I don't know what my parents are.
Liar. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I think they came around like they met Jason and they understood that it's like good for like like values and like teamwork and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really cool. You're into values and stuff like that too. That's me too. I am. That Presbyterian through and through. Do you go to church often?
We never really went to church.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're like,
no,
I'm
that's
part of a cult. No, just
I mean, yeah, that's cool.
I mean, not sure if I'm still part of a cult or.
Wait, what?
No, that was yeah, we never did it. It wasn't something my parents were as into, but I'm not opposed to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I don't mean to be pushy, but I go sometimes, and with Hannah, it's not just me there, obviously. And if you came by, I don't know, we could sit together and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that whatever, it'd be cool.
Yeah, how long have you known Hannah?
Only the past few weeks.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, she was really kind. I was incredibly shy when we moved here, and I thought I wouldn't have any friends going into my junior year of high school. It was kind of a nightmare. But she was super friendly, seems super cool, and I mean, she has all these interesting friends. So yeah, uh, I'm looking forward to starting school.
Yeah, most people here are pretty nice. There were a few bullies in school last year, but they don't mess around with me anymore.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't like picking on people myself. Like that's not what happened. Like I don't like to pick on people.
Oh, that's yeah, that's so cool. I mean, neither do I. I mean, truth be told, like in middle school and early high school, before moving here, I was bullied a little bit. I've had braces since like last year, so that was kind of hard. But I'm feeling a lot better
I
being
don't
in a new
think
town.
braces look bad.
Oh, thanks. Well, you didn't see me with them. They were pretty embarrassing.
Well, your teeth look great now.
Oh, excellent. That's Kyle being like, smooth move, Nate. Love your teeth. Awesome.
Hey, let me
They
get
look
my
super
smile.
strong. Strongest teeth
So-
I've ever seen.
Do you guys kind of walk around town, kind of moseying? Like you kind of, I think, you kind of at this point, like I think for both of you, it doesn't really matter where you go. You're just enjoying each other's company. So I think there's always like you want to see something, but like you never really do, right? You just kind of hang, and it is kind of nice. During that hour, though, Nate,
Mhm.
is there anything you'd be interested in gleaning from Holly? Because I think you'd have ample time to get potentially some information from her. Like you might investigate a mystery through her. You might read a bad
Yeah.
situation on her. You might try to charm her.
I think I'm not gonna try and charm her because that's gonna go bad.
Okay.
I'll investigate a mystery about her. I think
Awesome.
because I don't really
Roll.
know much about her.
Yeah, roll it up. Okay. So that is a fail. So on a miss, you reveal some information to the monster or whoever you are talking to. The keeper might ask you some questions that you have to answer. So David,
Okay.
here is what Holly is going to learn about you. The number one, she's going to ask you two questions. The first one, and this is a big one, and you can answer honestly, though, however you choose, right? Is what is being concealed here? And I think it's not just you. She's more interested in your group of friends, right? What are you all hiding from her?
So we all met each other because we do this like paranormal activities club at the end of the school day, and so we've taken to sort of investigating paranormal mysteries around Brownstown and places like that, mostly around Brownstown.
Cool. And while she doesn't ask you this directly, she will want to know, however you choose to describe this, of you and your group, what's the most vulnerable to her, not knowing anything else about her?
Uh,
What's the most vulnerable
of like of our
of the
group.
group? Yeah.
Oh, like what is?
Or what or who
Oh,
or if she were to act in bad faith, where would it hit where it hurt, right?
I think it would probably, if she were to act in bad faith, I think it would probably, and so this is my gleaming from it. So this is what I think David thinks is true.
Hmm.
I think it would Hannah would be hurt the most
Yeah,
because of
absolutely.
her friend's situation recently.
Sweet. Yeah. So, with that for David, I will say like you don't you don't understand the information you just divulged. Like this came out in natural
Yeah.
conversation over this past hour. But for what it's worth, Holly knows those things. So cool, 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 cool. So let's move over to the others at Elmer Dean's house.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
So, when we get there, I would like to. This isn't scary though, so I'm just gonna.
Oops, at Elmer Dean's house. Oh, okay. Yeah. So first, before we get to that, oops, and I will get there, I promise. But how are you guys entering? Are you breaking in, Wyatt, or are we going through the legitimate channels with the landlord?
First I'd like to case the joint and see how easy it would be to get in. If I think that it would be, if it's too risky, like one, if there are police on post, because I know this is an active crime scene. That would be a reason to skip and just go the legit route. But
Yeah.
if we could get it on our own, I think we could do a little bit more without the landlord being nosy with us while we're there. So
Cool. Yeah. So uh, this is like a one-story house that's been rented out in the more residential areas of Campsville. Um, it was a crime scene. The deal is, and like Jeff, I think you pick up on this too, based on what you were thinking about earlier. Um, Elmer Dean had gone missing like earlier, like this past week, and he's been missing for all that time. That like whatever processing of this crime scene needed to happen has already occurred, and like there's no police tape or anything. Like the police have done their job, so there's no cops casing the joint or parked outside. And like Jeff, you remember that like after 48 hours, if someone's not found, right, like it's kind of a cold case at that point.
Yeah.
The door is locked and the windows are shut, but I mean, you could pry a window open, you could pick a lock, you could try anything of that nature. It's the way, because Campsville's so small and kind of like it's small in population density, but like the town, like the residential part of town is spread out. So there's actually like a lot of yard and stuff like that, and you get the impression that you can do some sneaking without nosy neighbors and stuff like that. You'd only need to worry if like on the off chance the landlord comes to check, but like again, the police have done their thing. There's probably like he's probably too busy trying to rent it out to someone else at this point, or get
Okay.
someone to take away Elmer Dean's stuff, right?
all right. Well, if it looks legit, then I'm more than happy to crack a window and try to get in there.
Cool. Let's do an act under pressure for
Actually,
your
I have a
burglar.
special move for this.
Okay, cool.
It's called burglar. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So plus sharp and do your thing.
I'm gonna use my hold from the previous. If that's cool with you, I don't know if that hold
Okay.
transfers to the new scene. I'll leave that up to you.
No, that's fine because the hold was from the investigating a mystery into these folks, right? So I'm comfortable allowing that hold for this. Yeah.
All right, makes sense to me. Just wanted to learn to double check.
Mhm.
All right, so let's do that sharp roll. All right, come on, buddy. No whammies, no whammies. Stop. Yes.
Nice. Pick 3.
Yeah. All right. So I think we get in undetected. We get out undetected. And we're finding what we're after. We're gonna leave
Okay.
a fatty mess though, maybe. So we'll see.
Cool. Cool. So you guys sneak in. What is it that you are after specifically?
So in particular, I want to find if he was involved in anything supernatural, and also like potentially is he the perpetrator here? We don't not necessarily sure if this is anything supernatural. He could just be a creeper, and he's grabbed a bunch of kids and hit the road. So
Yep.
that's
Gotcha.
that's kind of what I'm trying to. I want to rule out that he is a suspect. Is what I want.
Gotcha. So, let's handle that. Oops. So you go inside, and this place is a mess. Like, it's almost like this could be from an episode of Hoarders, right? Like, there's takeout food from like the saloon thrown about, like collecting maggots and stuff like that. There's papers piled high. Like, the only thing that's really in pristine condition is like his 1993 era computer and modem, and he has like a bunch of books on his desk that are all like what you'd expect for like this type of individual to have, like Why Women Suck or whatever the case, right? Just like terrible literature that he's kind of absorbed. The one thing that's odd that Jeff finds with his oops is in this mess, you find a discarded copy of the March 1992 release of Zoo Books magazine, which was like a kid's animal magazine. It is titled Big Cats, and as you flip through it, Jeff, you are actually a little surprised that for a kid's magazine, it contains a particularly grim depiction of what happens when a male lion takes over a new pride.
Ooh.
Ooh.
As far as anything supernatural, you are unable to find any supernatural link to Elmer Dean. He was not researching it. He doesn't have anything that makes it seem like he himself is supernatural.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and because you won that, you find what you're after. You get the intention like he is just point blank not supernatural or involved in the
No,
supernatural.
oh,
He
wait.
was a
What's the
victim.
Oh, I
What's
just
the-
put something together. Wait, I don't know if Jeff knows this, but
All
I
right,
know
well,
what happens when a male lion takes over a new pride.
Well, it's described in the book, so Jeff would know it. Like, there's
Okay.
a grim article talking about it.
Can I just kind of like walk around picking it up and like read it out loud as we're looking?
Yeah.
Man, this is pretty ridiculous. Look at this. Like when a male lion takes over a pride, they just slaughter all the children that are there, all the cubs, and then that forces the females to go into heat sooner. It's kind of fucked up, right?
Language.
Sorry, that's kind of
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
I
messed
kind of
up.
look over at Hannah. I'm like, I think it's appropriate in this situation, but yeah, I agree with you.
why would interesting.
Now, and as far as Elmer Dean's connection to the kids,
Mhm.
It seems like there's nothing besides that, which, like, to your best understanding, it's probably like mentally he probably has some childish fascinations and stuff like that, and he was probably interested in this article, right? Maybe it was a nostalgic thing for him, whatever the case. But it seems like he has no interest in kids. Like, he doesn't have kids. He's unmarried. His house that he's rented definitely is lacking a woman's touch, right? Like, it's a sty, definitely like
He's
bachelor
just
pad
not
vibe.
he's not a mo at all. There's
But
no
aren't there
signs
kids
he's
who have gone missing?
There are kids, but it doesn't seem like he is tied to them in any way
Yeah.
Okay.
beyond the fact that he himself went missing along with these kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, There,
Okay.
you get the impression there is a connection. There's something that he has in common with these kids, right? But he's not the one who took them.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Can I
Jason's here too, right?
Yeah, I was
yeah,
just gonna
everybody
say like,
but David is here.
um, can I? I guess I could try to investigate a mystery, but I'm not really sure.
I'll
What I'm
investigate a
looking
mystery
for.
if you. Yeah, like I was.
Like
basically
I'll
thinking
do
the
it.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
We just gotta try to find if we can find out what took him, or find clues of what took him.
Nice roll.
So yeah, that's 3. No, hold 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 questions and a hold 1.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So what? I guess the question should be. Yeah, because we just want to try to figure out the connection. Like I think, right? If I understand that correctly, we're like I think we put together a little bit. This is I think Jason's internal monologue a little bit is we put together that there's some connection here. He clearly Elmer Dean was related to these kids in some way. It seems to Jason that maybe Elmer Dean was put down, and then the new lion, whoever that is, has now gone after the kids. I guess my questions will be what is being concealed here and where did it go?
Hmm. So where did it go? Um, in regards to Elmer Dean, and this monster that we're starting to kind of get a picture of, um, what you get, much like the descriptions that were given of what happened with the kids, uh, his bed is unmade and messy, and there's no sign of struggle. Like you get the sense that Elmer Dean, like for whatever reason, got up and left and never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as far as what is being concealed here, with that knowledge that you just gained at the forefront of your mind, you almost get the sense like almost like a Pied Piper or something. Like something is luring these people out, and they are coming to the monster of their own free will. Is what you could hazard to guess at this point.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and I'll say as much. Like it seems like they're being lured, right? Somehow, which is I look over at why I'm like that's consistent with your kind of your Fey thought. Like it seems like they're being lured away.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna look around in this space. Did sorry if I missed it earlier. Did Elmer Dean have a connection to the horse ranch at all?
He did not.
All right. Is his computer still there?
It is.
Is it like on or anything?
Yeah, it's like sleep mode type deal.
I'll just nudge the mouse
Yeah,
or the
pops up.
keyboard. Like, is there like a need for a password or anything? Or
Not in this era, man. Yeah.
hell yeah. Then I'll just like start poking around at it. I'm not the best at computers, but I'll kind of sit down at his desk and like.
I'm gonna do a help out situation. That's what I'm gonna
Okay.
do. So let me
Actually, you know what I'll do?
A cool roll, and I'll help out Jason.
That seems great. Actually, what I'm gonna do is instead of doing that, I'm actually gonna flip the chair around and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Jeff, come here.
Yeah. What's up?
Sit down. Like, just take a look at this. Like, you're good at finding stuff that no one else sees. Like, can you just like, I don't know, look through this guy's computer and see if see if he has some connection to the horse ranch or
Sure.
any of the other stuff? Like,
I'll try to. Yeah, I'll look it up. is there? Yeah, sure.
And I think like that way, then we're helping him do it. Kind
Yeah,
of
I'll help you out. So let me do that real quick.
Same.
What kind of role is this?
Woo!
Nice. That's going to be a sharp roll with a +2 forward from your friends helping you out.
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah, so you go through his computer with ease. You find there is no connection between him and the horse rant. I mean, he knows that it exists, but beyond that, no ties. He has no ties to the kids who went missing. They are not mentioned anywhere. The only thing on his computer that you find odd, and it's stuff that's kind of already been mentioned, but he has some open documents like that he was writing for his blog, and it's some really messed up stuff. Like part of it is just really misogynistic and just really terrible stuff, and like the next is like, why the middle class white man has it so bad, et cetera, et cetera. But then like there's also documents like on the next page. There's like, but I just really want a girlfriend. Why don't girls like me? Like he goes
Yeah.
like from one end of the spectrum to the other, right?
Oh, I have a question. Is he on any like early internet forums?
Yeah.
Can I log in as him and try to talk to other people as him?
Yeah, that's gonna be an act under pressure roll.
Is yours not a charm?
It's also not a great
Manipulate a
idea
person?
to do that because it's traceable, but that's fine.
Yeah, you could charm if you want. I'll accept that.
Yeah, because like just to manipulate someone essentially.
Mhm.
All right, see how it works.
Sweet. Yeah, so you log on, and there's some people there. The forums he's on are like-minded individuals, right? So do what you will.
What we might call involuntarily celibate.
I'm gonna talk about I mean like actually I know his post history, right?
Mhm.
Has he talked about dating or women?
Like all of his posts are about that.
Okay.
You see like in regards to dating, he's the type of person who like you get the impression like he goes between two stances. Like you get the impression he's a guy who definitely wants a date. You also get the impression he's a guy who's probably never gone on a date or like
Right.
had a meaningful relationship with a woman. And then because of that, like the next articles is why women are bad. Like
Yeah.
he's not wrong, they're wrong. I'm so great, right?
I think I'm gonna post a story that's sort of a little bit of like inspired by Jeff's own experiences and see what people respond with. Like, yeah, I was in town the other day and I overheard this guy picked up some chick and went out with her and she then like cheated on him like right away and like.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you get the types of responses you would expect. People
Okay.
calling names and stuff like that, and being like, "Yeah, dude, that's what you can expect." And
Are we
it's just
radicalizing Jeff right now? Is that
No, that's not what's happening. What I'm trying, I guess, let me think here. How I want to do this. Like, I guess what I'm trying to get from these people is posing as this guy. I want to know if what was some of the last things he said, and like what did he like? Would anyone know where he might have gone?
yeah. So, yeah, what you get is, like for the most part, like all of his writings are consistent, right? Like there's very little change, and like the people you're talking with don't give you the impression that they even knew he was missing, right? Like
Okay.
sometimes people go dark on the internet, it happens, but they weren't that close to him that it registered. There is a weird post, his final post, and it's just very brief, and it's like I think this is it. I think I found the one. Just those two sentences, and like, there's a lot of like WTF and like, what the hell? Like, are you backing out on us, bro? And like all this type of stuff. But they're like that. The date on that post would have been the same day he went missing.
Ah.
Oh, interesting.
What time did he make the post? Was it in the morning, evening?
This was in the evening, and you do see a few things like beforehand of like, he doesn't mention anything before that about meeting anyone or something, but like there are a lot of like paranoid posts, like I feel like I'm being watched, like maybe like the cops are on to me, like just super
What-
paranoid.
what
And then
times-
just this one of like, I
Are
think I
those
found
paranoid posts at any specific time of day that seem consistent, or all over the place?
it all took place. Those paranoid posts are like all that day. Like it's like the final day before his disappearance. It's all just like really paranoid stuff. Like, I think I'm being watched. I feel like there's eyes on me. Like, they know where I'm at, and people are like, dude, are you okay? Like, should we be worried? Are the cops onto us? Whatever the case. And then just a sudden change of, I found the one. I'm going. Right. Like,
Oh,
Yeah. So what it sounds like to me then, because this is consistent with what we'd seen from the other cases, right? Is the other folks who had gone missing had beforehand been complaining about being watched or having a feeling of being watched the day before. So that's consistent. All right. So it seems like I think we've kind of got all the information we probably can from this place. If we linger much longer, we may get caught. Is there another place we want to check before we have to meet back up? Do we have time?
I'll be cutting it pretty close, but up to you guys.
wait a minute.
So
There-
we're already gonna go check out Calvin Carlson somewhat because we're going to the ranch. He was a ranch hand there.
Is there a common theme here where everyone who was disappeared was like lonely or looking for a significant other or partner or something?
Well, 3 of them were under 14 years old, so
That's hard to say. Okay.
Yeah. So no, that's not super common. Yeah, okay. Well, what is common is that all of them seem to have just left the house and are just gone. So, and all of them complained of being, or some of them complained of being watched the day before they went missing. All right.
All right.
Can you
Now I'm
so-
just gonna
so-
screw up this guy's history. So long, losers.
Yeah.
Found
So,
love.
so here's the deal. You get in undetected. You get out undetected. You find what you're looking for. If anyone comes and investigate, they will know that someone was on his computer
Mm-hmm.
pretending to be him. Like that, you did not hide your tracks well as a result of Wyatt's
There's
choices
the
on
mess.
control.
Yeah.
They won't know it's like Jeff Slocum, but they will be like, someone was messing around with this.
Especially after his last post is like, you're all a bunch of losers. You need to like get a life and
Yeah, but good on you for setting some people straight. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got a good manipulate roll on there, so maybe I did.
Some people are reevaluating their life decisions. Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Oh, actually,
can only
I'm the
hope.
one that's wrong. What?
Yeah.
I'm the toxic one. Oh,
Holy shit! All right. I guess the only other option is if we wanted to go quick, because we can't. We could probably go talk about the Restorationist Church that's in the town over though, right?
No, that's in downtown Campsville.
Okay,
By
so the kid was an
saloon.
altar boy there. Like we could potentially, Hannah, if you wouldn't mind chatting with the, perhaps the clergy that are on staff there, see if you can get some information about.
Sure, the
MD
Restorationist family is
sorry,
kind
about
of a strange
Ashton
branch
Hubbard, sorry.
of Christianity, but I can
Well-
give it a try.
Well,
And
sure.
sorry for my own identification. Like Jason will actually say, like, and that's the church that Holly is a member of, right?
No, Holly's Presbyterian. Like me.
Presbyterian. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She used to come to this town all the time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Doesn't mean she went to church here.
Yeah.
Mm,
But there is only the one church.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool.
All right. So I guess we'll maybe have enough time to stop and chat for like maybe 5 minutes with the folks at the church before we meet back up with David and Holly.
Yeah, cool. So so here's how in my mind it's gonna go down. So like I think Hannah will break away, head into the church to try to get some answers, and you guys are actually gonna meet David and Holly kind of outside the saloon because the church is just like a few steps away, right?
'Kay.
What information are you looking for Hannah to retrieve for you guys?
I want to know if she can get anything about Ashton Hubbard and sort of if he'd been acting strange earlier, like beforehand, and if perhaps yeah, I guess just anything she can really get from the clergy there, like maybe if they're willing to be like, you know, where did Charles go? Yeah.
Still here.
Oh, it's just your name disappeared from
Oh yeah, it did.
Roll20. Weird.
Weird.
Yeah, just get some whatever information she can out of
About the
about
kid,
the kid. Yeah.
specifically. Okay.
Just
So this
you
is
know, if anything-
potentially big. So I'm going to go ahead and roll charm for Hannah. She has 2 charm. So we'll see how this goes.
Can I help her out in some way or another?
How would you? Because I'll allow it
Mm.
if it makes sense. But
Wait, what
Um,
is she doing? What is she doing to get this information?
he's going into the church to talk to the clergy if they can share information about.
I will pretend to be a lost soul that she's trying to get help to help her out.
Okay.
But that, do you think that would work?
I mean, that's not even pretend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Perhaps.
It's
Sure,
gonna have to be
yeah,
a help
yeah.
out roll, but a charm roll maybe, or a cool roll.
Well, and you have a special help action, don't you, Jeff?
I do, but it has to be if you're fighting a monster.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and do a help out roll for me,
Sure.
and we'll see if that helps Hannah. And I think she's like, there's this lost soul. What can you tell me about some other kids who are here? Like, definitely talking
Right.
down like you're a youngin like Ashton was to try to get it.
Let's see here. Help out someone. What is that under?
It's one of the moves under the
Yeah, it's
hunter move
second
reference.
One, yeah, it's a cool roll.
These magic glitches. Why am I not seeing it?
It's hunter moves, act under pressure, then help out right under that.
I see it. Help out. Okay.
7. Okay.
Woo.
So you'll give her a +1 to her charm roll. And here it comes.
Boom.
Dang, Hannah.
Hell yeah!
Okay, so Jeff, because you're with her, you see this first, and this will be relayed to the rest of you when you all meet up, because you're with David and Holly now. But the information you get about Ashton Hubbard, like the church are all too like, you did exactly what you had to do with that lost soul play.
I just want to like play the Devil's Game, Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, and
Exactly. That is the thing, because then the clergy say they don't think Ashton Hubbard would have gone missing if he hadn't started playing a Dungeons and Dragons campaign with his friends at school. And ever since then, he started getting increasingly interested in fantasy stories, and that's the Devil's Playground. And Jeff, I'm going to give you a free little oops roll here.
Nice.
They hand you a picture that he was keeping in his Bible as he was acting as the altar boy. And it's a hand-drawn picture of a boy who is clearly meant to depict Ashton Hubbard himself, dressed as a knight, riding a unicorn, which, again, is a bit odd because according to the Monster Manual, they only allow themselves to be ridden by elven maidens, but above the picture is written Zeke Greyfellow, level 10 human fighter.
Oh.
Interesting. All right.
Can I get this in like be like, I'll get rid of this.
Yeah. Oh no, they give it to they
Yeah.
don't want it, and they're like,
No.
you see what like they're
Oh
like,
my God.
this is clearly the devil's dealings, right?
I'll
Like,
use
and
this to
they're-
remind myself every day what to avoid.
Yeah, but the complication arriving from your help out action though is this takes a long time because they're hesitant to let you leave, right? They want to be like, yeah, let me tell you all the programs we can get you involved in to save you, right? So
Right.
you're going to be a little bit late meeting up with the rest of the group outside.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So, David, you meet back up with your friends outside the saloon after an hour.
Cool. With Holly still, I assume.
Mhm. She hasn't eaten you. I mean, eaten since lunch.
Yeah. So I'll when David arrives, I'll say, Hannah and Jeff will catch up to us. They're at the. Hannah wanted to check in and look at the church here. You know how she is.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good one. I mean, it's not Presbyterian, but I mean, when needs must. Holly says.
Wyatt will nod. It basically just a okay, whatever you say, sort of nod. How was your walk? Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah, we had a good time, right?
Yeah. I mean, it went by so fast, but it was really nice. Yeah.
So tell me about this horse ranch you guys are gonna go check out later.
Oh yeah, you're all welcome to come. I asked Hannah to get some carrots when she went to the store. I hope she did. I thought we could feed the horses. It's like my favorite spot.
Yeah, I would love to go. It's been years since I've been around horses.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, we could go whenever you guys are ready. I mean, we could go right when Hannah gets back if you want to. I'd love to show it to you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds good.
Jeff's still in a church.
Yeah.
At this point, you're starting to walk back out. Yeah. It took time, but not too long. You were able to dodge out.
You're like, I've been healed. Thank you, sister.
And like Jeff, I think you're currently holding the drawing.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna approach like David and be like, interesting information about what was it? What was the name of the person?
This was Ashton Hubbard.
Ashton Hubbard, yeah.
And you're talking to Jason, huh?
No, it's
Let me just,
David.
Yeah. What's up?
So David, check this out. This guy Ashton Hubbard here. He got into D&D. He was hanging out with his friends, and then before he disappeared, he had this drawing in his Bible about his D&D character. Check this out. He's riding a unicorn, which is weird, right? Because it's not quite how the lore works, right?
Like either he had a loosey-goosey GM or that's something that's weird.
But I mean, it could have something to do with the disappearance.
I mean, yeah. That's why it's weird.
Well, Holly overhears this conversation, but you also, with that mixed success she got, know that she overheard it. But she seems a bit out of her element and doesn't make any. Maybe she's like, "What disappearance?"
Oh shit, Holly.
I just kind of look at Jeff.
Jason
I
steps
didn't
in.
notice you there. Sorry.
No, Jason definitely edges him out and is like, no. And I'm gonna try to manipulate her.
Okay.
And
You beat me to it. I was about to do the same thing.
Poor girl, getting
Yeah.
manipulated from both sides.
hey, some people pay for that.
That's called the spit roasting.
Right. And so I will. What he'll say is, Holly, don't worry about it. It's, we're very we like to serve the community. You know how Hannah and her church group have do a lot of good. And our paranormal group, it's fun. It's like silly, right? We play D&D sometimes. But also we like to make sure that people are safe and that people are good. And so we're just well, I happened to look in the newspaper today and I saw that there was a kid had gone missing.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so since we were walking along here, I recognized this place and I wanted to check it out. And yeah, apparently one of the kids that has gone missing was an altar boy here, and he was playing this D&D game, and it's like, I don't know, like Hannah can tell you, like D&D is not inherently evil or anything. It's like
Yeah, it's boring. Off the cuff. Haven't played it once.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you'd ever get like sucked into the game and
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
right.
Too much.
Monday hasn't even come out yet.
Nope, it hasn't.
Um,
Not for like 3 more years.
but you don't like think we're in any danger, right? Like it was just like we'll be okay, right? I mean, the cabin is secure and stuff, right? Like we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
Is she-
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Like
We'll-
David will
we'll
protect
be
us. And
Oh right, because he knows the martial arts.
yeah, Taekwondo.
That's really sweet of you, David. Thank you.
Yeah, Jason and I will keep this all on the up and up.
You went with one of the best monster hunters in the greater Illinois area, right here. I just pat David on the shoulder and slide away.
Jason just looks at Jeff like, "What are you saying right now?
Yeah.
We just got us out of this."
He's gonna protect you from all the bad things.
God damn.
Yeah, I think. All right.
Cat's out of the bag now.
Listen, I gotta. This is a sharp roll.
Yeah.
Oh.
7 mixed success. So she registers it. I will give you. I think you did a nice deception talking about the D&D stuff and like the club beforehand. So when you're like, he's a monster hunter, I think like, oh,
She thinks
okay,
like
cool.
people
Like,
monster. Yeah.
or like, I think she's like, this is still like your game. Like you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about, right? Like that's cool. I don't get it.
That's what I was actually trying to play it off as, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked. Yep. Cool. All right. So it sounds like the plan is, did you guys want to head straight to the horse ranch? Did you want to stop at the cabin first? What are you guys thinking?
Heading to the horse ranch on the way is probably a good way to go, don't you think?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we will go ahead and head to the horse ranch, which means I will take you guys to the horse ranch. Before we begin this, I will be right back.
Oh my god, look at all the dead horses. Alright. Alright, I'll be right back as well.
I'm not getting laid.
Yeah, you're probably not.
Unless she's really into some kind of weird kinky stuff.
She loves horses. There's a shit ton of dead horses here.
She didn't say she liked them alive.
I mean, it might make you nice. I mean, she probably will be really sad and want comfort, if that helps.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. I am back. And yeah, maybe let's get started with some of this.
some of this horse murder that happened here?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm not getting action tonight.
you approach the Soapweed Horse Ranch. It is 15 acres of fenced-off pasture land abutting the southern and eastern edges of the Macaulay Heritage Project. Well within walking distance of the Watson's cabin, it runs parallel to Great River Road to the east and is bisected by Crawford Creek, a small tributary that flows down from the Macaulay Heritage Project into the Illinois River. As you are walking, Holly explained to you that the ranch keeps, breeds, and raises Lusitanos, and the family who runs it supplement their income by renting the horses out for use on the trails of the forest nearby. But there's no sign of the family, and as you get to the fence of the ranch, Holly screams, and you can see why. Visible from the fence are the corpses of 5 dead mares and 2 dead foals. They seem to have been dead for some time, perhaps even over a week at this point, and the remains have already begun to decompose and fall prey to scavengers. And that is, you maybe could get some more information if you examine them more closely, but that is what you can see from the fence.
Don't
Move
worry.
yourself to where you're going, Jeff, and mark that experience.
All right. So is this
Damn.
area? Hang on, not here, but like, is this area here? Is this a bar and is a door here?
Yeah, so that's like, it's a enclosed space, for the horses.
Okay, hang on. Like my scroll wheel is reversed, but I'm trying to put my person at the entrance to this on the bottom.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I will. I'll make sure to go with him. I'm happy.
No, I have to go off by myself.
Oh, that's true. I guess I will. In that case, if he wanders off, I'm
There we
gonna
go.
hop the fence with Wyatt.
And this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah. Hannah's gonna stick back with Holly and console her, being like, I was hoping you wouldn't get to know this side of me this soon in our friendship.
Yeah, like when we leave, we'll be like, stay here. We'll go check it out.
Yeah.
What about you, David?
I think I'm trying to like I'll do my first like actual like touching her and like wrap my arm around her to try and like comfort her.
Awesome, very cool. She notices that and is actually very like pleased by your touch. Jeff, you're at the door to the barn. It opens. It's not locked. Like this part of the ranch is adjacent to the property, so like this is like the family has eyes on this from their house. You know, if they were around. And looking inside, it does just seem like a barn. There's no other horses in here, and you know, no sign of any struggle or anything like that, like you witnessed outside. Jason and Wyatt, you get closer to one of the mares that has been killed, and you notice that this mare, and looking around, all the mares seem to have been killed by a puncture wound to the chest, almost as if they had been impaled with a lance. The foals, on the other hand, seem to have been trampled to death by one or more other horse. It is at that point, however, in those positions you currently are, you hear this noise. And you see
All the horses.
you see 3 relatively normal looking Lusitano stallions However, there is a cold menace gleaming in their eyes and a brackish foam that oozes from their mouths. They hold their head and shoulders low in an aggressive stance and pound the ground with their hooves. And being like, as soon as you kind of cross the fence to look at the mayor, they charge up to you.
Ah!
Hitting you with a forceful charge. You are knocked prone with just like the force of it coming at you, and you do take 2 harm that
Okay.
that can be mitigated by armor. So I think like Jason, you're probably okay being a werewolf, but
Yeah.
you're still knocked to the
Oh
ground.
no.
Yeah.
Holly's gonna see some
Some horse murder. Yeah.
Some
horse murder,
wolves.
but some werewolf.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a gun.
So at this point, I can go ahead and do a turn order. If I remember how to do it.
Oh, you just click and drag people in. You can either use their, or you can right click and add them. Right click and add to turn order as well.
Cool, yeah. So all the horses will act as one. We'll just set them at the highest, and then go ahead and roll a cool everyone to see how everyone is going to act. Cool. All right, so Jason gets a 12, or a 10, sorry.
Yeah.
Wyatt.
Jeff got 11.
8. Jeff is 11. Oh, I didn't roll. I said cool, correct?
Yes.
Dang, a lot of 8s.
Oh, okay. And Hannah and Holly going at the same time. Makes it convenient for me. And we'll just put the stallions at 12, and they just went, which means, Jeff, it is now your turn.
All right. That's a great question. There's 2 things I'd like to try, but let's see here. So, one thing I was thinking of doing is trying to distract them by moving up here to get them off of my friends down here.
Okay.
And then maybe if I get them in the barn, I could close it out the end I just came in, or is that not? Is there no latch on the door or anything?
Well, there is a latch. It's not like a real locking mechanism, but it is something to like kind of close the doors. So what you're trying to like lure one of the horses into the barn?
Yeah.
Okay. So I tell you what, go ahead, roll me a manipulate someone roll. On a success, the horse
Sure.
that's closest to you on their turn will move into the barn rather than attack who they're fighting.
Okay.
Awesome. Yep. So the horse that's closest to you, this one right there, will move into the barn on its turn.
Okay.
Jason Armstrong. So on the ground, you will need, regardless of what happens, you'll be able to make an attack and get to your feet. But I will need a plus cool roll, and if it's a miss, you will take immediate trample damage.
Oof.
Okay, cool. So you're able to get up, but in doing so, this wild stallion just ferociously tramples your body. You take 1 harm hand area slow, which means Wyatt, you take that 1 harm as well.
Okay.
Again, mitigated by armor, so
Yeah.
might
So I
not
don't
do
actually
anything,
care, yeah. But
Yeah.
it
but it still
Yeah.
happens.
still happens.
I have 1
Um,
armor, so I'm okay.
What does
for that
slow
one,
mean?
but,
Does
you
it
know.
like slow me?
No, it is slow to do it. Right, it can
Oh,
only
okay.
make the 1.
Gotcha. I briefly look back at Hannah, and I'm like, "Get Holly out of here." And what I'm going to do instead of turning into a werewolf is I'm going to draw the magnum from my belt and try to shoot this horse that just tried to trample me.
Yeah. So, I mean, you saw that Jeff was making eyes at this horse. So you're going for that one or this?
I'm going for the one on the right. Yeah, the one that's
Okay,
next to
yep.
Wyatt and I. Yep.
Cool. So Hannah can't move Holly for her until her turn is up. So she will see the gunshot, but go ahead and kick some ass.
I guess. I mean, I could try to scare them away. With like shooting in the
Just
In the air.
into the
Yeah.
air.
do the damage, man.
All right, I'll just try to shoot the horse. Yeah, I'm torn because like normally I'd be like, well, let's not,
Look at the scene we're in, man. There's no saving this.
All right.
These are
Fair
good
enough.
horses.
And
And
chances
they
are,
were.
most of her life, she's had to be there or understood when they had to put a horse down.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, that's true.
Rabid horses.
All right, I'll kick some ass then.
Kick their ass.
Kick their ass.
Hoot hoot. Yeah.
Success. So you deal your damage and you get to choose an extra effect.
All right. So I deal. So normally it's a magnum, so it's 3 harm, close, reload, loud. But I also have the move called devastating, in which I can choose to inflict an additional harm,
Okay.
and so I will. And then my additional effect for kick some ass will be to. I will gain. I'll take the advantage. So I would take one going forward, but in this case I will give that +1 to Wyatt.
Ooh.
Sounds good. So you deal 4 damage total.
Yes.
Awesome.
Damn.
Because of your roll, it does not deal harm to you, and the shot goes out, taking a good chunk out of its chest. And it's like one of those, if you've ever like in Braveheart when the horses run into the lances and they kind of stumble, that's kind of the
Aw.
effect you get from this. A pretty devastating blow, all things told. Nice. So Wyatt is up with +1. The first thing I'll need is that cool roll to avoid the
I'm gonna
trample
apply,
damage.
I'm gonna apply the cool roll to that just because it does area damage, and I don't want it to hit
Yep,
Jason
yep.
as well. So, actually,
Yeah,
no, you
I can
can't.
take
You're
it.
you're
It
unaffected
can't-
by it, right? Because
It can't hurt me. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yep.
save the cool that for my attack roll then.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool. So let's do. All right, here we go. Cool roll. I got a 3 cool, so let's see how it goes. Yes, motherfucker.
All right.
Cool.
So you deal your damage and
Well, that's my
choose
cool
another
roll
effect.
to stand up. So now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you avoid the damage from the
Yeah.
trample. You like roll out of the way.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I do kind of get half stepped on when Jason got trampled, but luckily I have enough armor that I was able to get out of that. I have battlefield awareness. which
Nice.
is, one of the things I took. Because he needed to figure out how to fight on a battlefield real quick. Next, so he's gonna draw his 9mm and fire at the same horse that Jason attacked. However, I'm gonna back up a little bit. In what can I? Oh, I have the pan tool. That's why. I'm gonna back up a little bit over to here, just to give Jason some room in case he wolfs out. I don't want to be next to him if he goes bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fire at this horse. So here's my kick some ass roll. And oh, I can't add a +1 to it. Weird. Are you not allowed to do that for kick some ass?
I'll allow whatever you get. We'll just say it's a +1.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just had to pick. Oh, okay, never mind. I just had to pick a skill to kick some ass with.
Right.
Okay.
In case you have
Ooh,
optional stuff.
yes.
Awesome. Yeah. So you deal damage plus an additional effect.
Let's see. What? So I can't do the advanced kick some ass, but I can get the Let's Let's see. So that's a 9 mil. So that's 2 harm, close, loud. Just so that'll be 2 damage.
Okay.
And I will give Jeff my +1 since he's next in line. And
Okay.
I saw him luring a horse over, so I want to make sure he's okay. I'll give him a +1.
Sounds great.
I think David's actually next in line before Jeff.
Well, but I meant like he's the one closest.
He's
to danger.
closest, yeah.
That's
So
true.
next,
That's true.
because next time Jeff goes, he's gonna have a horse in his face. So I want to
True.
make sure he's got the
Awesome.
+1.
That's super fair.
Cool. So, and with that roll, I'm going to say you avoid damage from the trample attack as well, with that 11. So,
Sweet.
perfectly cool. So, yeah, the shot rings out. You shoot the other side of the horse, so it kind of rears back in the opposite direction as it did when Jason had shot the horse. And it is still surprisingly standing, but it is looking much worse for wear. Like, they use guns to put down horses, right? Like, this
Yeah.
should have been
This should have been enough
Yeah,
to take it down, right?
but-
yeah.
something, perhaps some supernatural force is pushing them onward. It is definitely injured. You are doing damage to it, but it is unfortunately still up.
It's just a bit more burly of a horse than we expected.
Yeah.
Fucking
So moving to
classic.
Hannah. Hannah will take Jason's advice, grab Holly, and I'm not going to run them off the map, but they're moving into the woods, just so Holly doesn't have to witness this. Holly, though, for her deal on her turn, kind of taking a joint turn with Hannah, will turn to David as she's being ushered away and be like, David, good luck. And she is going to help out David. So at the start, so she is going to give you +1 forward on anything you choose to do. And David, it is now your turn.
Okay, so the issue I have right now is I feel clear that I would, while I brought my sword with us on the trip,
It's probably not with you.
I don't have it. Like, it's a two-handed sword. It's not something I could have concealed. So instead, I'm using my silver dagger.
Okay.
Let me see if I can link it. I cannot. And I will. So I sort of in this weird. So she gives me this +4, and I get this like weird like strike of confidence, and I wink at her.
Ooh, nice.
Before, how far can I move?
As much as you want. I don't keep much track. Yeah.
Like, I'll go up close and mess with my dagger.
Nice.
And it's a silver dagger, if that matters.
Ooh, good to know. Thank you for saying such.
See that kick some ass roll, neat. Don't forget to add 1. Yeah.
Awesome. So advanced success, I'll say you do the damage. You can pick 2 extra bonuses, and you won't take damage from the horse.
Okay, and I also have advanced kick some ass enabled.
Oh, then you tell me what you're doing.
So I'm just gonna find any part that seems vulnerable that can be easily taken away by my strike.
Wow. You can say you inflict double the normal harm if you're
Looking-
using a sword. Woo.
Looking at what I have here, so I'm going to pick an advanced effect, and that is give every hunter involved in the fight a +1 forward.
Ooh.
Okay. Nice. So how much harm do you do with the dagger, all things totaled up?
So the dagger itself is +1.
1 harm. Okay. So you stab the horse like in the neck, which it does not like. You kind of stun it in place, which is giving everyone that +1 forward, but it is still trucking. With that, it is the horse's turn. As described, the one nearest Jeff runs into the barn. And my understanding is you like shut the door behind it.
Yeah, and I also I wanted to kind of run out this end and shut the door as well.
Okay. Cool. You can do that on your turn.
Okay.
This horse is going to run to you and try to stop that from happening by doing its trample on you.
Okay.
So, it does its forceful charge onto you. So, you take 2 harm that's mitigated by any armor you might have and stuff, and
I have
are
that.
knocked prone.
Okay.
Now,
I have
what else? Oh, go ahead.
I do have an amulet of protection that mitigates 1 harm.
Awesome. Yeah. So then you just take the 1 damage.
Okay.
On your turn, you'll need to do that plus cool roll. If you succeed, you'll ignore its trample damage and you can make it out and shut the door. But if you fail, you're going to be kind of in melee with this new horse, if that makes sense. But this one seems this one here seems confused and is like facing towards the exit. The other one is going to try to kick, like rear up and kick David in the face.
Ow.
But fail to do so, and Jason, you take that opportunity to stab it once again, dealing 1 damage with your dagger.
David.
Ooh.
David.
David,
does.
yep.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
I used the +2 forward that I have from the other buffs.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, cool. It does not trample you. You definitely roll out of the way, using that momentum to get back to your feet.
Okay. Can I exit the barn and shut the door?
You sure can. Yep, that was the agreement.
Cool. That's fucking rad, dude. You trapped 1 horse in there and distracted another.
Yeah. Sure, it's trapped.
Anything else other than running out and shutting the door you want to do?
I mean, like, I was assuming I was gonna like maybe barricade it with like a pitchfork or anything I could grab along the way that's easy to pick up.
Fair enough. So like, you've locked this side. It can't come out the side you've barricaded over here. And now the other door's closed and latched. It'd have to like fight, but it's a little bit easier than what you've done on this side
Right.
you're on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Jason.
All right. I'm going to look at David and I'm gonna hand him my magnum. And I'm just going to step off into this, like right here, basically. And then turn into a werewolf.
Nice. Okay.
Bursting out of my clothes. Basically, the idea being is I'm no longer in line of sight of Hannah.
Yeah, they run
of
into the
Holly.
woods. Yeah.
Yeah, I
like,
just wanted to be sure.
It means Hannah will be out of the fight as well, but like Holly won't know.
Because I don't need Hannah healing me at all for this. That's gonna make like shit worse for Holly.
Yes.
And so yeah, turn into a werewolf and definitely just attacking this guy with the +1 from earlier on the advanced success that they got. And so let's kick some ass.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So how much damage do you deal?
I deal base 2 with an extra harm with so it's 3. My claws do an extra harm for 4, and then also devastating does an extra harm for 5. So I do 5 damage.
Awesome. So, Jason, the werewolf, like as you rush up to it, it freaks out. Like you are obviously something supernatural that spooks it, and it kicks at you. That's the mixed success. Though, knowing how much harm it does and how much armor you have, there's no effect. So we don't need to go into that too much more. But David, you see Jason rip this horse apart, adding to the gore that is below it. It is annihilated.
And are we also covered in blood?
Jason and David are white. You're out of the splash zone, as it were.
Ew.
It is definitely a splash zone, though.
See, this
Yeah.
this boy's still getting laid tonight. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
All right, Wyatt, you're up.
All right. Seeing that craziness, and realizing we still have a job to do, he's gonna rush. Oh, the fucking pan tool. All right, he's gonna rush over here, and he's gonna open fire on this horsey. Beep, beep.
Gotcha. Do it up.
All right. All right. Let's kick some ass. Let's do it. Where you at? Where are you at? There we go. And I get a +1. Thank you, David. Yeah.
Hey, all right.
So do 2 harm.
2 harm. All right. Yeah, you shoot the horse. Much like the other, like it takes a damage, but like something is just making these horses that much more tougher. Normally on a mixed success, it would deal damage to you as well, but it's all close range, and you are well out of that, so you are safe from its hooves or anything else it might be able to do.
We're well
Hannah,
out of range.
And if it
Hannah
decides to come
is
get me, it's running right into the werewolf. So.
Hannah is well out of range of to do anything. However, Holly, who is with Hannah, David, you still feel that confidence. You get that +1 forward.
Woo.
Okay, I think I'll run up over to this next one. Super confident.
Shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a mixed success. So you deal. Is it 1 damage from your silver dagger?
Yeah.
You're not
Okay.
gonna use the gun that Charles gave you?
No.
It does more damage.
It does. This is what he's doing. I think right now this.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So you stab it again in the neck, and it whinnies. But in so doing, it does kick you with its hooves, dealing 1 harm. But if you're wearing armor, that might have a mitigating effect.
Yeah. So I think my armor is like light enough that I can wear it under my shirt.
Okay. Cool. So now we have the stallions. So this one, you're gonna buy some time, Jeff, with your maneuver. This one's gonna go to the door and try to get through, and realize like you have barricaded it too much. Like it is a bit too much for it. So you get the impression, if you had to guess, it's probably gonna try the other one next. Like with sustained assault, it's gonna be able to get through either, but it's a matter of time, right? So the one next to David, however, will kick some ass. Because you are in close proximity, it cannot do its charge, so this is just a hoof attack. Sorry, that was the horse, not Holly. She's not out to get you.
The secret from the woods.
Yeah, the horse is gonna take an extra effect to do +1 harm, so that is a 2 harm horse kick. And then we move to Jeff.
This music is fucking terrifying. I love it.
Definitely.
Jeff, you are up, sir.
Oh,
That's you, Cameron.
all right. Let's see here. So I am going to. Well, this is going around to the other side. I think I will come over here, behind everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, here, and I am going to also help out. Not help out, but I'm going to give David some inspiration here, and he will get you get +2.
Excellent. What do you say to David?
All right, David. She's watching. You got this, man. You're gonna slay this monster and get the girl.
All right,
Yeah, and
excellent.
David's
She's
feeling
not watching as as it happens, or else she might be freaking out at the werewolf. But love the sentiment.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something going on with this Holly individual.
All right, Jason, werewolf Jason, you are up, sir.
Definitely going to bound over all fours and go for this guy to kick some ass.
Excellent.
Yep, 5 damage.
Okay, yeah. Again, David, you look like you came from Splash Mountain of Blood, as in one fell swoop, Jason rips this horse in twain.
We're gonna go dunk you in the river after this, just to try to get the blood off you.
There is a
yes.
creek. That
There is
creek
a
is
creek.
canon.
Yeah, we're gonna go swimming.
Yeah.
All right, Wyatt, you are up. All you know is it seemed like you can hear there's a horse in the barn, but the threat that was in front of you has right now been destroyed.
Well, now that I know he's trapped in the barn, can I just go and try to barricade this door?
Yep, you can. Let's do a plus tough
Okay.
roll.
Cool, I can do that. Alright, plus tough, okay. There we go. Yay!
Cool. So on a success, it is still going to try to break out on its turn, but it's going to take a -2 forward from your barricade with that 10 roll. It would have been +1 just on a mixed success. These horses, and I think like perhaps Jason, with your feral instinct, you get this like there's something like these won't stop. Like it.
Yeah.
This will fight until it is dead or can no longer fight. But you have bought yourself time.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I kind of think the fact that I shot it in the chest with a magnum and it didn't go down or run away was indicative that it might be a problem.
Yeah.
Yep. So Hannah is guarding Holly. Holly, again, David, through time and space, you get +1 going forward.
Yeah.
And it is your go.
And so we can see easily. I mean, I'm assuming this is a normal horse barn, so we can see through the
Yeah.
doors and stuff.
You have +3, by the way.
Oh, because I got 2 from you.
Do some
Yeah.
magic, man.
Yeah,
Um.
you can try to decurse it.
Kind of just want to murder it.
Kind of get weird.
Well, I can let the door open, man. You wanna go check it out?
I honestly, like, I was a little bit worried because I know you're a fan of horses. I was thinking about reaching out and be like, okay, content for like potential animal cruelty. I'm glad you're handling this so well.
It's just horses. I'm just gonna shoot it with the gun.
Okay.
Just gonna like through the window, just.
That's with +3.
Yep. I mean, he's not really a gun guy.
So I was like, it could get weird in here, man.
Yeah. Fair enough. How much harm is that?
I don't know. I don't.
It does 3.
3. Okay. Yeah. Much like you witnessed Jason do, like the shot takes a good chunk out of the horse's front section, but doesn't seem to really slow it down. Like it seems to be fighting through that pain almost supernaturally. You have harmed it, but it is still going. On a mixed success, you would normally take harm, but as we've established, you are well out of range. This horse is going to try to break through this barrier on a tough roll at a -2. I'm going to say on a mixed success, it'll weaken it, and you'll have one more turn of it locked in here.
Okay.
On a fail, it's going to need to start from scratch. On a what is it, a 9+ on a
10
base
plus.
success, right? It'll break through. So
Ooh, weakened it.
mixed success. So it weakens it, but it's still kicking at this barricaded door.
Okay.
And that is little Jeffrey Slocum.
All right. Let's see here. I mean, I don't know. I still want to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna still do my Power of Heart, which I also have Helping Hand, so that gives me a +2 for helping out.
Awesome. Who are you helping out?
I mean, I guess since it's probably gonna break through next, probably Jason.
Okay, cool. What are you telling him in his werewolf form?
All right.
Or how
Jason,
are you helping?
I don't know any other way out of this, unless I think you might have to. I think you're gonna have to be our hero here.
Jason, werewolf howls.
Awesome. Cool. Noted. Jason, it is your turn.
Let's see. I actually can I bust down the door?
Yeah. Please.
Please do.
You are more powerful than 3 horses.
I Kool-Aid man my way into this
Okay.
and kick some ass. With
Those commercials are definitely a thing right now.
right, they are, yeah.
And you have +2.
And I use my +2 for
There
an
we
advanced success, in which case I
My
will do
God.
double damage. So I will do 10 damage to this horse.
Okay, so
Which
glad I
is
stood
more
back.
harm than it started with. So you eviscerate this horse. Like, it's to the point, like, it's like literally a wild animal's gotten to this thing, right? Like, you don't know when to stop. Like, the horse is long dead and you're just tearing chunks of it. Like, this barn has just become a slaughterhouse scene of blood and gore. But the final stallion, whatever might have been affecting them, is destroyed. But on that, we'll get out of turn order. The monster is going to use one of its moves. And David, at this point, I need you to roll a sharp roll for me.
This has not been my strong suit. And I used all my forward.
I'm 9. I am writing 9 down somewhere. This will have an effect at a later time. However, David, what immediately happens is you hear something like almost like a voice traveling on the wind. And there's no way to know this for sure, but the others could confirm it if you ask them about it. Only you can hear it. And it says, and you immediately get the sensation that you are being watched.
I definitely start looking around like
gonna say anything?
paranoid.
Wyatt, having just been completely covered in gore, probably doesn't notice this and is just trying to brush off all of the horse gore.
Yeah. Do you say anything?
Horse gore, cool name for a band. Horse gore.
All right. Hannah's still keeping Holly in the woods until she gets the all clear. David, you know what you're feeling better than anyone else. Yeah. What next, guys?
You say anything, David?
Something's watching me.
Wyatt kind of goes pale.
I heard something in the wind say, "I see you."
Oh, that's not good.
Did Wyatt hear that at all?
No. No one heard anything.
David, maybe we can
I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call for Hannah and go running to the fence.
Maybe we should do some weird, David, and figure out what it is.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like you're bathing in the water.
Yep.
Hannah runs up to the fence with Holly in tow. Holly's
I've
still kind of
ditched my
shaking.
jacket, which was covered in blood, and pulled my shirt off and wiped the blood off my face. So the only
Oh.
blood that remains is on my probably what's on my hands and on my jeans. So he's currently
Yeah.
without a shirt on.
Yeah, I think Holly notices Hannah a little flustered. Like, that's kind of a. I mean, maybe not the time and place to have these feelings, but Hannah likes what she sees.
And he just goes, I think you need to talk to David.
Sure. Can you keep an eye on Holly? And like Holly is still freaking out. She looks like almost like catatonic, like she's having a hard time processing everything that's going on. And like when Hannah's like, "Can you watch Holly?" She's like, "Did you hear wolves? Are there wolves? Is that what got the horses?"
So
Yeah.
Wyatt's gonna immediately try to calm her down. He's gonna hop the fence so that he's on the same side of the fence with her, so she's not by herself. And he's gonna kind of walk her over away from the side of the horses, so kind of over here.
Mhm.
And he's like,
You can move her. You have control of her.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm just
You
gonna
can
move
move
her
her
over here. I'm gonna sit her down, and we're just gonna kind of chill for a minute.
Awesome. Very
He's, yeah. So essentially, he's just gonna try to calm her down and kind of I'm gonna do a I don't want to do a manipulate because I'm not trying to manipulate her. I'm trying to.
Well, I tell you what. I'm gonna call for a charm or a manipulate someone roll, but it is like I get your intention, right? Like it's to calm her down.
I'm gonna throw a request out there.
Sure.
He's not wearing a shirt. Can I use a cool roll?
You know what? If you're trying to calm Hannah down, perhaps.
Okay.
But her heart belongs to another.
Fair
So
enough.
no.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do sharp. You said sharp or charm, right?
No, sorry. A charm or a manipulate someone, which I think
Oh,
is
a
charm as well.
Right. I think manipulate is it is charm. I'm gonna not go towards the manipulative direction. I'm just gonna try to distract her with because he's not very good at this sort of thing. So I have a crappy charm. So here we go. Yeah, I failed.
A failure. Yeah.
Didn't calm her down at all.
Yeah, so here's what I'll say. Like, with a 6, that's 1 away from a mixed success. So you don't make the situation worse. Like, she's not freaking out anymore, but she's also not calmed down. Like, there's a lot going through her head. She's kind of, like, silently shaking. But, like, you being there is helpful at the very least. But you kind of get the impression of, like, maybe I should just shut up, Like, yeah. Awesome.
So, yeah, he's going to, he's just going to chill. And,
Don't
listen-
open the
listen to
doors
what
to the
Jess is saying.
barn.
Nope, not doing that.
Cool. Yeah, she doesn't talk, like, her talking's kind of incoherent, just like, oh, it must be, like, she's, like, rationalizing things away in her mind and stuff like that. Hannah will approach David, since Wyatt had asked her to, and be like, hey, Wyatt said I should check on you. What's going on?
Someone's watching me. I heard a voice on the wind say, I see you.
This is like what we read about with the kids going missing. They the parent they thought something was watching them before they just disappeared. I think this is something
I
supernatural.
think they were right.
Maybe we need to maybe there's something supernatural we can do back to them. Huh?
Okay.
Picked her up.
Okay. It seems like you might be experiencing what those other kids and Elmer felt. No, that's okay, because from what we know, they left of their own accord, right? And we're not going to let you do that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have a better grasp of what's going on than they would have, but like there's something out there. They were being watched.
Yeah, like it's getting late. We've all had a day. I think we've uncovered some stuff. Maybe let's head back to Holly's cabin. Let's just have some dinner, take it easy. Listen, David, I'll be right there. I'm not gonna let you leave. Okay? Nothing's gonna
Jason-
happen to you.
Jason walks up and put his hand on Holly's shoulder, or on Hannah's shoulder, and is like, "We'll watch him in shifts."
And he's totally naked.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
definitely.
I think Hannah has. She notes it and but she doesn't have anything really to give you like she would, but it's not. There's no sexual tension or anything there.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, also, this is not a sexual situation. This is a life and death.
Yeah.
Our friend is, being threatened.
I'm sure like when we were 6, we were both running naked through the sprinkler and stuff like that, right? So
100%.
Dude, David, it's gonna be cool. Let's are we gonna do any protection magic or powerful magic or
We can figure that out. Let's get to the cabin first, and then we'll figure something out.
All right.
cool. So it sounds like we're heading back to the cabin.
I'm gonna actually pop into this barn and see if there's like a horse blanket or something.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can cover yourself. Yeah.
Just because this girl is underage, and that might be illegal in this state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I cover myself up.
To be fair, you were underage yourself as well, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm getting a lot closer to being of
Yeah,
age.
yeah.
so-
No, you're doing the right thing
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So you do so. As you're kind of walking, like Holly does kind of come to you enough to be like, "What happened to your clothes?" But you don't need to answer it. It's not like a real question. It's
Oh
more
no,
rhetorical.
It
he'll
was the
definitely.
wolves.
He'll definitely say like they got torn off in the fight. I got trampled and got really beat up.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. And
It's
yeah,
okay.
you
David
guys-
saved me.
Oh, it registers, but again, not a sexy situation. So, yeah. So you guys make it back to the cabin. So I'm gonna use the restroom real quick while you guys think about how you want to protect David, and when I get back, we'll move forward from there.